All right. There we go. Let's turn that back up and let's get the homies in here. All right. Welcome to the Ilderon Tales. This is Group A,
Yes.
Episode 11. The
The best
Sky
group,
of
not episode
Wolves.
7. Damn it. I missed it.
Oh, yes, and we have a full party tonight. So, I will give you guys a brief just recap of what happened last episode, and then we're just going to jump right back into it. So, last episode, you guys camped out at the base of the mountain leading to the Temple of Hearthfire. While that night on the 22nd, moving into the 23rd, the Earthfire's light started dimming, and by the end of the night, it was completely gone. Soulmane snuck up to the top of the temple and saw that Elena and Terrorcry were there on the upper levels doing something. As to what, he did not get close enough to see. The next morning, the party reconvened and all decided to go up the mountain. When they got when they got halfway up the mountain, they went inside the entrance for guilds that use the Earthfire for crafting, and found that Elena had taken an entire guild of artisans and crafters hostage, and left them tied up in the base of the tunnels. Moving further down the path, you guys went through a tunnel that's normally not walked by people, that led straight to the heart of the Earthfire, and you guys found yourselves in a yourselves in the middle of the mountain, looking up 200 feet above you to the balcony of the temple that circles around the Earthfire. And normally this is where the Earthfire would be burning. It was completely empty. In its place was several fragments, a multitude of fragments and tiny crystalline shards, and no Earthfire. As you guys got into this pit of a mountain center, you saw sitting on the balcony 200 feet above you was Elena. She was looking out over the basin of Sarai's Dawn and kind of calling back down to you guys, talking about what she had done, and immediately the party started attacking her. This went on for, maybe 30, 40 seconds.
The entire party, mind.
Well, yeah, everybody was trying to get up to her. As soon as you guys got within range to physically attack or restrain her, she teleported out, leaving you guys with a payment for Outward, and then a small jade gemstone that she threw into the pit. While you guys were trying to figure out what to do next, Anston appeared to have lost something and went through the tunnels to search for it. And through some random shenanigans, you found out it was the book that Skari had stolen from him, and that Anston has been making a spell book. And Skari has told you guys very clearly that he does not know how to read. After a series of back and forth discussions, you guys left it in Skari's possession, and then scryed on Elena to see what she had done. It appeared she crystallized the entire Earthfire and teleported it out to some temple dedicated to the Spoken Wills. And then from there, Nykirin, Skari, and Outward were talking, and Outward mentioned that, there's still plenty of Earthfires out there in the world, and they suggested to the party that, she probably wants to steal more, if possible. We're going to pick up from there. You guys have the time to complete a short rest as everybody recoups themselves in the basin, freeing the members of the Artisan Guild that was there, them obviously running off, and we're going to pick up right from the party licking their wounds and getting ready to get back on their quests.
Still love that drawing.
It's definitely beautiful. Let's see.
Beautiful's underselling it, man.
Let's go with adventure, and then we can shrink this down because we don't need it anymore. All right, so what you guys are looking at? You're on the top. You're on the top of the mountain in the Temple of Hearthfire. Well, you're not on top of it. You're in the basin. There are 2 towns left inside of Sarai's Dawn. This whole area is a about 8-mile radius wide basin in the middle of a mountain range.
Well, yeah, fire's gone. We should probably, I don't think there's any point to those, villages there anymore. I mean, they're kind of here as, like, a checkpoint to the airfire, right?
Yes. You're saying that to the NPC?
In character, yes, I'm saying that. I'm just saying that.
Nykirin is going to add and say they're remnants of this country's past. Lots of wars and conflicts have been fought in these fields.
Strange. Seems so serene. Well, except for the burning villages and the giant purple worm and hydra thing, but, you know, other than that, quite serene.
Whew. Yeah, she's going to look at it and say, well, I come from Alyan, and I'm more privy to forests myself.
Whilst I am pretty much the same, can't deny, there is something just awe-inspiring about just the great heights of the mountains. Being able to see pretty much everything with an eye on bird's eye view, despite being grounded creatures.
Yeah, it reminds me of home.
And my home was mainly just plains.
Well, alright. On the other hand, I'm tired of looking at this with no earth fire in it, so I want to get moving.
So what should we do with the crystal? If it does contain the
mountain
on it, in it, we're gonna have to
hang on to it. If we can use it, I mean, we may need a Kickstarter, you know, like Tinder to get the fire going again. Who knows? I have no idea. But,
or maybe bargaining chip, like, you know, hey, this guy's still alive, leave us alone, we'll return him to you. Just saying.
yeah, maybe.
We now technically have our hostage. Granted.
Teak says, "May I see it?"
Who picked it up? I think Fractus had it.
The green gem. Here you go, Teak.
She's gonna turn it over in her hands a couple of times.
Okay.
She's then going to. How common is this kind of a spell, Brandon?
It is very uncommon. I mean, pretty much only the most powerful of powerful casters could, you know, do something like this.
Teak, we had her. We feckin' had her. I can't believe we let her go.
Let her go. There's no letting go. I didn't actually get a grip on her ever.
Teek's going to glance towards the artisans. Have we finished our long rest yet? Are they away from us?
Yeah, they're gone. You guys completed a short rest.
Okay.
Yeah, if you want a long rest up here, you guys can. You're not technically threatened.
Alright.
As secure as this place would be, I'd rather not.
Yeah, let's go to one. Let's check this place out. Give it a once over. See if there's anything else here that will help clue us in, and then just go to one of the towns that's still standing.
I'll go on ahead. Just make sure things are okay. Besides, Kara's getting a bit claustrophobic. And with that, Owl and Kara will just take off down at a nice leisurely pace.
Starry is going to she'll pipe up and say, I'll search the place down for you. Besides, I need to go find Anston anyways. Skari begins walking down the tunnel too.
Okay. Ogun's gonna kind of go sort of along with her, throw a detect magic to help things along, and scan the area.
Okay.
See if there's anything else worth grabbing, or worth, figuring out and taking notes on, that sort of thing.
Alright, the rest of the party, Teak and Willow and Fractus, and Soulmane, what are you guys doing?
Teek's going to exit and say, "There's not a moment to lose. We must be hot on her trail the entire time. We cannot let this happen once more. Let's move."
Alright, so, Fractus, Ogun, roll me a... I will allow you the option. Either you can roll an investigation check aided by Skari, or Skari can roll an investigation check aided by you.
I think I would probably be the better person to be aiding rather than being primary on it. I've only got a +3 for the roll.
Alrighty, she makes a investigation check.
I'm hoping she's actually good at that.
Her rolls are only being whispered to me. She rolls with advantage, so I'm going to roll I already rolled the first one. The first one's a 9. The second one is a 15. She is going to be... she's going to look around the top part of this temple. On her, and this is over the course of probably about 40 minutes of you guys like searching this place down, because you gotta walk out, walk back up, look around. As you guys get to the top part of the temple, of course she finds Anston on the trail. He is searching each step of the trail with like intent focus. Leading back down. She leaves him there, and of course you guys are going to come back to him. On the top part of the temple, she is going to find... there is in the in the room labeled chapel, there is a scene of probably about 8 different people here that look like attendants of the this earth fire. They are all flayed. Attacked, gored, thrown over this place. in a manner that is consistent with an attack from like a wild animal. And some of them have large black wounds on them, where the skin around it is kind of like dried out, like something's been sucked out of them. But otherwise, each of these bodies are dead. Skari is respectful enough not to pick over the dead, but stepping into this room, there are some prayer candles that she does grab, and she grabs a weapon that was wielded by one of them that's by the front door, and she's going to look at Ogun and say, I don't think it's right to disturb the body of clergy.
I don't think it's a good idea to leave any stone unturned in search of the
Alrighty.
who did this.
Ogun can, but she's not going against taboos.
I'll not care either.
Alright, so Ogun searches all 8 bodies?
Yep.
Okay, so you are going to get some mundane loot from them. However, you do find a couple trinkets that are eye-catching to you, particularly off the one closest to where Skari picked up the mace. You can add 4, or I'm sorry, I said 8. You can add 8 or actually add 7 holy symbols to your inventory, and 1 silver holy symbol to your inventory. Additionally, 2 of these people are going to be wearing breastplates. The other 6 have mundane common clothes, but for the purposes of your inventory, you can write them as Hearthfire priest robes. Is Ogun detecting magic?
Yes.
On one of the ones you pull a gosh, what's that thing? On one of the ones you pull the silver symbol off of, you grab a headband from off of their head with a small gemstone on it that is giving off magic.
Okay. He's actually more interested in like what's going on with these wounds, and I mean, he's guessing this is probably Terracry's work, but he doesn't.
Oh yeah, definitely. If you want to discern anything about the scene,
Yeah.
just from how the bodies are laid, this area, it seems that there are the 2 figures closest to the door are the ones with the black marks on them, and also the ones where you guys found the magical items on. The other 6 seem to be attendants. It was a battle in the front entranceway here, as there are pews that are smashed, blood, splattered on the walls, stained glass windows that are broken in areas. However, in the back of the room, it looks like a slaughter. If you want to discern anything else, it would be, an investigation check, looking for like specific things, but just like stepping into the room, that's what's like apparent to you.
Okay. Is the black markings around the wounds typical of lycanthropes, or is that possibly something else?
Possibly something else, not typical of lycanthropes.
Okay. Is there any like residual magic energy or anything on those?
No, there is not.
Okay. And investigation and try to figure out what's going on with that.
Looking at it, yeah, looking at this and trying to discern any information from these wounds, definitely something was like sucked from these people, delivered with a touch. Things that commonly come to your mind, you know, the life drain of like whites and vampires that they're capable of doing. Other undead things. That would be the first things that like come to your mind. However, there's not much information here to go off of just by like looking and seeing of just like, man, what did this?
Okay. So it's basically some kind of necrotic touch damage thing.
Yes.
Okay.
Each mark too, your investigation check is going to reveal. So you noticed the black flesh, like as you know, you were picking over the bodies, but you've had to move, you know, the armor on, particularly the one with the breastplate. The center of the mark is on their chest, over their heart, but the one with the breastplate does not have any wounds piercing the breast armor. The blackened skin was, you know, like was visible from their neck, and then you were, you know, able to investigate further. The other body is, you know, wasn't wearing armor and is, you know, too ripped and scarred in too many ways for that to even matter.
Okay. Partly he's just trying to figure out, like, is Terror Cry some kind of undead lycanthrope, or is there another piece on the field, so to speak? Like, or is there another attacker?
Yeah, you can assume there's something different about him. I don't think anybody in the party told Ogun. But yeah, you can assume that if this was Elena or Terror Cry, that they're either working with, you know, some third more powerful force, or, you know, there's something about one of them that is, you know, not all the cards have been revealed.
Okay.
Skari is going to roll a Constitution check, not to gag, as Ogun is inspecting these bodies. She does not, BT dubs. I forgot you guys can't see that roll. It's 17.
Oh, good.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be unhappy with her with barfing on.
Hey, what are you?
I was looking at that. Now you threw up all over it. Ah!
You guys rendezvous with the rest of the party?
Yeah, just one more, I guess, I don't know, like intuition check to see if there's, am I missing, or insight, sorry, that one. To see if there's anything like, where else should I be looking? Am I forgetting something? Because something about this is still bugging him.
Yeah, so this place should be attended to by in a sage of each of the this place should be attended to by a sage of each of the four ascended. You haven't seen them unless those corpses at the altar were them. Other than that, you wouldn't know anything else that you might be missing.
Okay. Skari, where are the sages?
She is going to think for a moment, still holding her hand over her mouth, and point to the 6 other bodies and say, "That's probably them."
California? No, they had it going into Florida.
Okay, well, I guess that's it then.
All right, you guys head back to the party.
Yeah.
Okay. The whole party can head down from the mountain. Do you guys want to go to the
Well, I went ages ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, the rest
When
of
was
the
half an hour
party.
ago?
Do you guys want to head to the refugee camp, or you guys head into one of the towns?
We probably want to pick up Hilarious on our way where we're going.
Yeah, Hilarious is waiting outside of the tunnel for you guys. Teak brought her on horseback.
Yeah, it's not. It's first time. It's the first
Right.
time for me.
Just give me a direction. Or I can roll the percentage
How much
die.
time do we have left in the day?
Pretty much half of them.
Up here scouting around, it's midday. After Ogun and Skari finish their investigation and come back.
Okay. And where do we have a hunch about where Elena is, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Your hunch is that she is. I'm gonna move you back to the other map. Let's see. Your hunch is that she is in some elven temple, meaning she would either be in one of those areas. Oh, let me delete those other green circles. She is in a temple of the Spoken Wills. It does look abandoned, though. The one that you guys saw her in. Additionally, Nykirin, Skari, and Alward put together that she's probably looking to steal more Earthfires. I'm going to do those in red. These are the remaining Earthfires in the world.
So Alien would be closer to where we are and closer to the next Earthfire.
Yeah, that could be a idea.
Hey, Brandon.
Yes.
You said last time that I didn't know what the temple was, where the teleportation circle was through the scrying.
Yes.
In the intro for this one, you said Temple of the Spoken Wills. Does Ogun know that, or do I still have to go have him research that?
So, the Spoken Wills is like one of the oldest religions in the world. So, it's not the Temple of the Spoken Wills. That's a religion. It's a temple dedicated to the Spoken Wills. Like,
Okay.
You'd be able to notice that just from, like the depictions and murals and religious symbols within the temple.
He knows it is one of them, but not which one.
Yes.
Yeah, it's basically a mosque.
Okay, so using my sage background or field researcher background, where do I need to go find that information to figure out exactly which temple it is, based on what I saw?
Based on what you saw, you can go to the where you need to go to figure out that information is going to be Sky's Reach and Alilnagai, Osidin, or the Daridel Monastery in Morzia, or the Jaridel Monastery and Low Lakes is like if you are just working on the vaguest of clues, each of those places have specialists that are dedicated to researching things around the world. Those are the centers of learning. There's the Calgarin Royal Academy, south of Alyan and Ililnagai, that might have somebody that can point you in a direction. There are also sages. Each city in Ardor Serai has one sage dedicated as like a city historian for answering questions of travelers, like a being a visitor center, giving advice to the town leader, and portending the wills of the gods. And oftentimes those sages get their position from being very knowledgeable.
Okay, so it sounds like potentially there's a lot of places.
Yes.
Since there's an Earthfire just on the other, or just this side of Ililnagai, that's going to be his preferred destination. He will say so.
All right. I'm going to roll you guys a percentage die. Above 50%, you guys head to Pilgrim's Rest. Below 50%, you guys head to... I don't remember the name of that other city over here. You guys head to the city just east of you.
The Iron Fortress?
No, I rolled a 58. So, where's Alward headed?
Well, as I told the party, he was heading down towards the refugees.
Okay.
Like, heading down towards the poor villages.
Yeah, and if it's not too late in the day, Hogan would rather head toward the refugees, see if there's anything he can do there, and then continue on to one of the towns.
On the way, though... Sorry, on the way, Howard is going to be scavenging for mistletoe.
Alrighty. Roll me a survival check.
$16, not bad.
Okay. You are not going to be able to find any. Not in this region. It does not grow in this biome. Oh, that's Google. Thank you. But anyways, getting to the refugee camp, the party is going to be behind you by an hour. The refugees seem a little bit more ordered and organized by the time you guys get back, as they have established a new chain of command. They are giving orders on what to do with their remaining supplies, and many of them are looking to head back southward.
Okay. I'm gonna approach, is there like some sort of like command tent that I can see?
So this is just outside the rubble of that burning town that you guys were in, and there is no command tent, but they have set up. They set up basically like a temporary command structure in one of the ruined stables that you guys were nearest to. The parts of it, that they were able to like keep from burning down. the individual stalls, being moved as like triage centers and things like that. They don't have any horses to go in here, so.
All right, I'm gonna make my way over to that then.
Alrighty. Just poking through here and looking for who's in charge. It appears that a man named Garrett has taken up command.
Okay, is he present?
Yeah, if you look for him, you can find him in this structure. Once again, he is talking with a few more people about their remaining supplies, and you hear this conversation that they're looking to pack up what soldiers they can and head back south.
I'm going to wander on over there, sat on Kara. Yeah, that'd probably be a good idea, but you're gonna want to take everyone else with you.
He's going to look towards you. He's going to recognize you from the night before and stand up and say, by the gods, sir, where's the paladin?
They're cleaning up at the fire, or what's left of it at least.
He stands at attention and says, were there any more of these beasts there?
Oh, the beasts. No. At least, not by the time we got there. Pretty much, there was about 10-15 artisans that should be on the way if they haven't already arrived. But there's nothing left here. Need to take everyone away. Not just the soldiers, literally everyone.
Yeah.
Unless they're, set in stone and staying.
He's going to nod and say, "We'll look at transitioning from a journey to the south to exodizing, taking an exodus to Northwind. The fortress should be able to hold the population of this basin."
Well, I do recall it being pretty much empty with, the war breaking out. So, yeah, that seems honestly the best idea. Do you need any help with preparations while I just wait for the party to arrive, including Paladin? And once he arrives, I'll send him straight here.
Yeah, he tells you to, gives you the orders to talk to the other soldiers. There are about 70 people left alive in this camp that, are the pilgrims, disguised as soldiers. Not including the, 20-30 people that from the town that, survived the attack. You can give the order. The soldiers are going to prep to get ready to go to the other towns and collect people. And by the time you guys get the word out around this whole camp, Teak and the Fractus, Soulmane, Ogun, and that's everybody in your party. And Willow all arrive at the camp. Along with the blue band in tow and Hilarious.
Ah, there you all are. Yeah, Ogun.
Yeah.
No, Teak, 1, 2, I can't remember which one of you is the paladin.
That's Teague.
Right, yes. Well, both of you should go over anyway. Both of you, you see that stable over there? Just that there, not the burned down one. The one that's still partially standing? Yeah, if you could go over there and talk to the person currently in charge, he's expecting you.
Expecting us? What was he expecting us for?
Well, more hoping for you to arrive, I suppose.
Whatever, figure it out.
More so hoping that you guys weren't dead.
Well,
you send
Alright,
10
we'll go
people
check it out.
towards the mountain and, only one comes back and it's like, oh gods, what happened?
well, the rest of us are just not hurrying. The because investigating is important.
We'll go look at it.
All right.
Okay, bye.
Yeah, stepping into the stable. This is, once again, impromptu area. The parts of the roof that they could patch. They have their torches, lit in here, and they've hung. They've hung like what is left of tents as like drapes in front of stalls for some sort of privacy. The one Teak walks in on is Garrett, still talking to what amounts to his lieutenants now. Teak stepping in here is, they're all going to stand at attention, as all of you, would normally outrank them in status and just general rank inside any military structure, because all of these guys were foot soldiers yesterday. When you guys walk in, Garrett stands at attention and says, "Sir."
At ease.
Where
are your two best?
Teak nods.
Say it again, Jeff.
Where are your two best?
Your two best?
Yeah.
Garrett is going to point at himself and then point at a what appears to be a rough, been through hell teenage girl next to him, and say, well, she's technically a captain now, and I'm the commanding officer here.
Well, you technically have breastplates now. Hands it to him.
They are now officially
Teak
wearing
glares
armor.
at Organ.
Okay. So, how about, are there lower ranked priests than what were at the Earthfire?
No, they did not have any clerics in their rank.
Okay. We'll figure the rest of that out later. So, heard something about moving out or something like that. I don't know if that's a great idea, but it's worth discussing. Because I don't think there's going to be a threat around here for a while, if any. Until we come back to try to light shit up again, assuming she's not dead already. I intend for the dead before the relighting, but you never know.
He's gonna nod and say, well, we were sent up here on Lady Nakart's orders, but with the Civil War breaking out in the capital, or with the Civil War breaking out in the south of the country, I feel like our forces would be better used down there. So, if I'm in command, I'm taking us back to where the the spears are needed.
No, fair enough. Nothing to defend around here, anyways.
Yeah, he nods and says, "But on your order, we will evacuate the basin."
Teak? Is it worth staying? I mean, if I have my way, I'm gonna have this thing lit up again in a few months.
Do what you can. Unfortunately, our business takes us elsewhere. We cannot dally or delay.
All right.
Got a long road ahead of me.
Very long. And, before the night is out, I must have a conversation with my group. Which I fear will only make this road that much longer.
I don't like the sound of that. I mean, I
You're fine.
Oh, I know I'm fine. She knows I'm fine too.
Garrett's still standing at attention. Like, he's relaxed a tiny bit when you guys told him to, But he's going to gesture to the large stall that he's in and say, if you need a place to plan, this is about as much privacy as we could gather. Sir Paladin and is going to look at Ogun and say, Sir Lil Najian, you can...
Who are you calling, sir? I work for a living.
And he's going to say, you can use this area and if you'd like.
Alright, fair enough.
He looks to everybody in the room and says, clear out! They do so, rolling up their maps and the bit of notes they were taking on parchment, gathering up, discarded armor and weapons and satchels. And before long, the 8 or so people that were occupying this room with the captain and
I'm gonna interrupt the guy with the maps and say, can we borrow those for a bit?
He's gonna nod and say, certainly, and put them back on the table, and the rest of the room is gonna clear out.
So real quick, looking at the maps, what's going on there?
There are plans on them. You can see lines drawn towards Northwind, the military fortress you guys came from, and a rough sketch, our rough etching of our rough estimation of the time it takes to get there. You can see several other areas in the northern region, and let me shrink this down. You can see several other areas in the northern region with circles on them and numbers above them. You can assume, these are how they've been planning in this region, or, where their other camps are located at. As the party's meeting up inside of here, Skari is going to hand that mace she found on the corpse to Ogun and say, this is rather magical. I identified it out there, and she hefts it. It's a morning star, and pushes it in his hand and says it explodes with radiant energy. Not something I'd use.
Not something I get much use out of either. I don't think I've gotten blood on this axe. Points the axe on his back.
She looks towards Teak.
Probably a year or two.
I take it from her. We can use this.
All right, you can add a radiant morning star to your inventory. It is a +1 radiant morning star instead of the +1 on damage. It swings. It swings for 1d6 plus 2d4 of radiant damage. You guys have the command tent to yourselves.
Okay.
Our command stall.
Right. Teek's going to look at Ogun for a moment and... Ogun. And quietly ask, Can you fetch the others? I find myself quite exhausted after today.
he starts walking out. He looks at Fractus on the way out. By the way, fair trade value for that stuff. She handed it to me first. Steps out the door, and he just shouts really, really loudly. Hey! Deke wants to talk to you guys! He points at the rest of his party and waves them in.
Alright, they are going to file in slowly. The whole party is there.
Okay, including the blue band?
Yes.
Okay. Teek's going to look to the members of the Unrepentant and say, "You performed admirably today. I find every day that I journey with you is yet another day that I can say it is an honor to journey among the Unrepentant."
The who?
She'll turn to Alward and say, "Not talking to you."
So who are you talking to?
When Outward says that, if he's looking around, Scari's face is just positively beaming. She's kind of got her hands on her hips, giant smile on her face, and kind of like a damn straight look going on.
Teek sits there for a second before saying, "Okay, I can see there's a little bit of confusion."
Oh, no, she's soaking up your praise. That's like, I wanted that to be very obvious. She is like basking in this moment of just like, oh yeah, we did good.
That's
the confusion.
She'll
Ain't the confused one.
she'll wander up to Willow Fractus. She'll say, "Willow, Ogun, Fractus, you performed well today. Let us all, and I suppose stay in the tent, building, so that we may plan our next move. However, know that the rest of my speech is not directed at you." She'll turn to Alward and say, "I could do with a little bit less of the flippancy, but at times it is pleasant. No further reprimands."
Howard just scratches his head. And just shrugs. And just pets Kara.
Turning to Kara, Teek kind of crouches a little bit and says, "Who's a good bear? Who's a good bear? You're a good bear." Fetches a piece of jerky from her rations and gives it to Kara.
Kara had a very what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? And then suddenly the meat. And
The meat.
And you're lucky to still have your hand.
Teek turns to the blue band, places her arms behind her back, and says, "Anston."
He seems distracted. He comes to attention and says, "Yes."
No comments.
Wait a minute. There's comments. Anson's the one writing the book.
Anston, see Ogun for comments.
Hold on a minute. You're speechifying all this garbage. Anston, this book. He goes and fetches the book from whoever the fuck has it.
Scary has the book currently.
Did Soulmane give it to Scary? Because Soulmane had it.
Yeah, it was tossed around between everybody at the last second. Scary pleaded as Anston was returning, of just like, come on, don't do this, and he gave it to her and she concealed it. But if Ogun walks up to Skari and pulls it out of her pouch, she's, not going to reveal. She's not going to reveal it. He's got to wrestle this thing from her. But he does, you guys all saw her as the last one holding it.
That's not quite his style. He's mostly just gonna hold his hand out and look at her and go, "The book." And if she doesn't get it right away, he'll try to be a little scary.
When you do that, she's going to go pale for a second, and Anston is going to look at her with a face of all-consuming rage, of just the burning fury of just terror instilled in her, and she's going to pull out the book and hand it to Ogun out of her satchel, and he is going to say, "You had it!" She's going to say it's...
She didn't have it because she's... Okay, it's a long story why she had it. That doesn't matter. She was carrying it for you.
Anston steps forward and says, "Give it back!"
He holds on.
Teak is going to draw her warhammer and say, "Get back in line."
Oh, he's not going to hurt me. Don't worry about it.
That's going to be an intimidation from Teak.
All right. You are going to... you're you are going to stand forward, everybody, at Anston. And Skari's, going to place a hand on his shoulder and say, "Honey, calm down." And he is going to match your guys' posture and say, "No, I will not calm down. That is mine."
Shield bash.
Willow goes to knock him down.
Yep, rolling that now.
All right.
That's.
Wait.
Hold on for a second.
Sorry. Did Anston just jump out at whoever? It's
No, he stepped forward.
Oh, okay.
And then, gentlemen, apologize. It's been a really crazy evening.
All right. He's got to roll a contested athletics check against your shield bash.
Yes, I have to wonder if the feat gives me a shield bash. Does that give me an advantage? The action he's doing is slipping between Peak and whomever he's walking up against, and then just shield checking him. Let's see, attack action.
All right.
You can use it. So this is action attack.
Okay. And it's the Shield Master feat, right?
The Shield Master feat. If you take the attack action on your turn, you can use the bonus action to try and shove a creature within 5 feet with your shield. So it's going to roll as an attack action. Which would be...
Okay.
Choose your strength.
So what that is you take the attack action regularly. You do all of your attacks, and then that allows you to use your bonus action, which you normally wouldn't be able to do, to make a shove attempt at him. The shove attempt is going to be a contested athletics check. But you can take the attack action, save all of your attacks, make the shove attempt with your bonus action, and then take the attacks if you want later.
So there's not saying that I have to deal lethal damage with these, right?
No, you don't even have to attack. You just taking the attack action allows you to use your bonus action for the shove attempt.
Okay, I'm going to, I apologize for the noise outside. I'm going to roll this as a regular attack, and we're just using the attack roll on it then.
Things that grapple counts as a special attack. It uses the attack action.
Shield is the speed I have.
Alright.
So you can have total grapple and still have that be your attack action.
That is going to be 20 versus, or it's going to be 11 versus your 20. And you are going to shove Anston back down to the ground. He's oh, go ahead.
I want to follow that up. I want to follow that up so he's kind of hunkered down behind his shield, and he's going to level kind of short sword at him. And is like, calm down, lad.
I'm going to roll him a percentage die if he does or doesn't. He is going to be fuming on the ground, and he's going to put a hand on his greatsword on his back, and Skari is going to step up and say, Anston! He looks at her and pauses. He removes his hand.
Smart. Now you sit there and you be quiet.
Well, he's going to have to answer a little bit. So, Anston, I don't know what you got there in your head meats, but there's wizard script coming out of you. He points at the book. Right? This looks like a spell book. I don't know where you're getting the ink. It's probably crap, and it may not work for that. But spell book, I know the difference. So you need to get your shit figured out. Now, whatever you need, we can talk. But don't just keep scribbling away in your whatever fugue state craziness you're going on with, all right? I don't need that kind of time bomb around here.
Anston stands up, adjusts his clothes, nods.
Sorry, not time bomb. Burgeoning doom. There's no such thing as a time bomb in that era. Anyways, moving on.
He nods and puts a hand forward for the book and says, will that be all?
That will be all. You come up with answers and quickly. I expect to hear something from you tomorrow. Puts the handbook in his hand.
He places the book back in behind his trousers, in between his belt loop and his skin, and he shares a glance with Skari. She avoids eye contact with him.
Don't blame her for nothing. And that's not a great place to put a book. The sweat room. I know I get sweaty bubbles. I don't know about you.
No comment.
Yeah, he looks positively infuriated, but he exhales and says, my problems are my problems. I'll solve them.
Your problems easily turn into our problems. That's why you need to start sharing.
Carl, while munching at the jerky, is just gonna stare at Anston. We're just munching with the jerky, but yeah.
Something in your head meets that thinks it knows how to cast spells and maybe even does is just a problem waiting to happen. So this needs to get figured out sooner rather than
It's the end of the world.
Don't think you can handle this by yourself. You've got the arcane abilities of a small rock.
Anston is going to shake his head and say, actually, no, he's going to open his mouth to speak. You see him let out a long exhale of, all of the pump, all of the circumstance that is adding to the tension of this moment just kind of deflates out of him. He moves to speak, and then he doesn't say anything, and he nods.
I forgot about them.
All right, you talk to me in the morning.
Oh,
Teak, go ahead.
no, I get so busy when I go.
Teak, watching Anston walk out, is going to say, "What's his deal?"
Short version of long.
Has he always been like this?
Skari is going to nod just a little bit and say, well, I mean, he's always been bad about talking about his emotions, but the book thing's new. He can't read. I tried teaching him once or twice, but he didn't have any interest in it.
Yeah,
She
part of it.
says, wait. He has a book, and he can't read.
Could have pictures.
What does the book what?
Nobody could read the book, and Skari's going to impart that knowledge. Like, all of us couldn't read it.
Yeah, not to be like interruptive or anything, but we're kind of still like. Could this wait until your private talk tomorrow morning? Because, like, there's stuff to be doing outside.
Hold that thought. Has anything strange happened to him recently?
Skari is well, actually,
He did have his head caved in.
Yeah, Skari is going to move to talk and say, well, Nykirin is going to put a hand in front of her and say, he had an unfortunate run-in, but
Teek's going to look
traumatic.
at Nykirin and say, no, I want to hear what she has to say. You're going to get yours in a moment.
Skari...
Back up!
Skari, seeing all the fury of Teek is just going to be like, well, we had a run-in with a vampire lord, and he set an inn on fire, and he killed Anston and Raseril, and we were stealing this thing for this really strange man that wanted it, and it was going to pay off our debts, but there was rumored that it could make wishes, and after Raseril and Anston died, I grabbed it, and I made a wish, and it became useless, and it brought them back to life, and I was happy. And ever since then, though, he's just been a little bit weird, but for the most part, he's him. He's him. It's the book thing's new, but... and she looks back at Raseril and says, you're fine, right? Raseril, who's, been, like, kind of looking at where Anston walked out at, is gonna look back and say, huh? Yeah, fine as peach.
I rolled a 17 on my insight check.
On Skari or on
Skari.
Yeah, Skari, if you guys tell Skari to talk, she's going to spill everything. As far as practice can tell, there's probably excess parts of that story that you guys didn't need. For the most part, her she's not a good liar. She seems earnest in everything she's told you.
Teek is going to look at Raseril, walk directly in front of him, and use Divine Sense.
Alright, what's the range on your Divine Sense?
60 feet.
60 feet. Raseril is... I have to look at the text of it real quick, just to... Oh, hey, you have it. As an action detect... yeah, I'm gonna look at it real quick, because I need to know how you detect them, like how it registers on your senses. Paladin,
It's delightfully vague on that front.
Yeah, the presence of strong evil registers in your senses like a noxious door.
Until the end of my next turn, I know the location of any celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet of me that is not behind total cover. I know the type, celestial fiend or undead, of any being whose presence I sense but not its identity. Within the same radius, I also detect the presence of any place or object that has been consecrated or desecrated, as with the Hallow spell.
You are going to detect 7. I'm sorry. You detect 7 fiends. Raseril himself does not register as one of these.
Brandon.
Yes.
What is the exact location?
What about Soulmane and that?
Soulmane is counted as a humanoid.
Okay.
And for Teek, you detect 6 in squares adjacent to you detect 6 in squares adjacent to Raseril, and one outside of the stables. In the direction Anston walked
I
off.
don't detect behind total
Okay, yeah, I don't believe he has total cover from you, because these are, there's like a tarp on this, but I mean, I'm assuming it's like wavering or something. But yeah, in that case, you just detect 6.
Okay. In that case, she's going to point at Rosero and say, "He doesn't go anywhere." She's going to walk towards the door and say, "Ogun, practice with me. Willow, make sure they don't go anywhere."
Rosero is going to be like looking with his hands up in the air and the kind of, what did I do? Of like, I've like, he doesn't say this, but he's cooperated and he hasn't attacked anything. He's like, what did I do? Come on, I'm fine.
And you will be fine if you continue to cooperate. Please hold. She's going to step out of the barn, and once she can see Anston, she's going to detect again.
Yeah. You see Anston. He's sitting at what used to be the or actually he's going to be sitting by your guys' carriage that you didn't take with you. He is scribbling in his book, just kind of distractedly, and you detect in his or from his square a presence of the fiend.
What's going on, boss?
She's going to say under her breath to Fractus and Ogun, "Fiends among us." With that, she's going to point at Anston and say,
I'm going to put my hand on my sword and get ready.
Alright. She says, "Follow my lead." As we approach Anston...
Much of this can tell is happening via primeval awareness.
Isn't your primeval awareness for humanoids?
Are they humanoids?
Yes. Fiends are not humanoids.
No, but the party is.
Oh, okay. Okay. You're trying to, discern what's happening outside.
Yes.
The general direction of them outside the tent, and their disposition is unhappy.
Bad things.
Scary is not going to stay put. She's going to be stepping out of the tent as you guys are walking towards Anston.
I want to try and stop Scary for just a moment.
Well, what do you say to her? Because she is pushing back past you, and
the bear walks in front of her.
Yeah, she's going to be moving past the bear and say, "They're going to kill him! They're going to kill my husband!"
Just a moment.
No, it's fine.
I pull out my bow. I'm not going to let anything happen. Just give it another moment or so. See how it develops.
You can roll a grapple check if you want to try and restrain her, but she moves by Kara to go out. The rest of the party, though, is you guys are approaching Anston. He closes...
No, I'm not gonna stop her.
Okay, he closes the book and places it on his lap, looking up at you, and he's going to say, "What? It soothes me."
Did you write or read?
He was writing when you guys did.
I'm gonna have to ask you to give me the book.
He puts it back behind him in his trousers again, and says, "I can't do that. We just talked about this."
No. There is no.
Yeah, we just talked about this, and you've been acting mighty funny. You're gonna come back inside. You're gonna give me the book, and we're gonna have a little bit of a talk.
Anston places a hand on the book, And then he says, I can't.
Yes.
He gave you an order, soldier.
Quick question, like, is the book still out in the open?
No, it's tucked behind him.
Alright, I want to ready an action. Like, as soon as if the book ever comes out in the open, I want to, like, shoot an arrow through it and pin it to the nearest thing. Like, try and pin it to the carriage with an arrow. I want to ready that action.
Anston is, once again, you guys see his, hand, moving. Like, you see it, like, shaking, and kind of like his, muscles, straining. And, again, he looks up at you and says, hey, I can't!
Real quick question, Brandon.
Yes.
If I use Misty Step to teleport to directly on top of him, can I sit on him?
Sit on Anston? He is a muscular dude.
I'm aware. Also, I'm a muscular person in full plate armor.
Yeah.
So...
I would just have it as a contested athletics check between the two of you to kind of wrestle him to the ground. But just trying to, fall on him, it would be a dexterity save for him to get out of the way.
Okay. In that case, I'm gonna charge up on him and make an athletics check.
Alright. He sees you charging. Roll initiative.
Okay. Oh boy. Nice!
Wow. Alright, I was just like, yeah, Teek's about to muscle this guy down to the ground, but you rolled just as bad as him. He got an 8 on initiative. He's going to move before you. Additionally, he also rolls his, what is that, 4, 3, 6... his combat expert feat kicks in. And you see Anston get ready for this. You can roll or actually, he's going to engage you first. You can roll a contested athletics check. He attempts to grapple you.
Who's he grappling? I had to step away, I'm sorry.
Teek has charged him. He has prepared himself for it.
Alright.
He has oh, go ahead.
You said opposed athletics, yes?
Yes.
Alrighty. Amazing.
Yeah, he is going to he's gonna beat that just like expertly, positioning himself around Teek and restraining her. You are engaged in a grapple, and he is going to growl into Teek's ear and say, "Stand down, Paladin."
I'm gonna attack at that point. Once he lays hands.
Teek's going to shout, "Get the book!"
Are we rolling initiative, boys?
You guys can roll initiative. It is Teek's turn. The party will enter on the second round.
Considering I'm right there, can I roll current to the initiative as well?
Yes, you can. I'm going to handle this as cinematic because basically all you guys need to do is stand next to. Anston. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and roll Skari's initiative 2 because she is stepping out here. And, she's obviously going to step out to Anston and... was that Ogun's initiative, that dexterity check?
Yeah.
Okay. She's going to step out to here. What is... Oh, 0. Hers is 2. She's going to beat... Ogun for initiative. Alright, so what is Teek doing on her turn?
Checking the words on a spell.
You are grappled. You are not, completely restrained. You can do verbal and somatic components.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You can call him ugly if you'd like to.
Right. I'm going to try and wrestle him down. So I'm going to roll another athletics check.
Alrighty.
Come on. 13.
Alright, I sent that one is public. He's going to beat you with a 17. Teak continuing to, like, strain against him. He has experience in this area. Again, he's going to say, stand down! The top of the round, Alward hears yelling and a scuffle outside. Alward has 1 initiative.
I was already looking outside.
Okay, yeah, you see exactly
Kara,
what's going on.
I'm sent Kara into that.
Yeah,
like, as soon as
Kara's
the-
initiative is at 8. So the party is entering on this round. So it's Alward's turn.
Okay, well, I was literally just going to move to a better position and just get ready to shoot the book as soon as it appears in the open.
Alrighty, moves and readies in action to shoot the book. It is, from there, it is Willow's turn.
Okay. Willow is going to say, he's going to get kind of a hard set look on his face. He's like, I warned you. And he's going to move up in melee. And he is going to, let me make sure I'm reading this correctly. Okay, so they're still grappled and stuff, right?
Yes, they are.
Okay. So he's going to make 2 attacks with his lance. And we're indoors, right? Well, yeah, he's not mounted. So here's the first 2, and oh shit!
Good lord!
Let me just roll that second one real quick. Oh fuck!
All right. I'll see you guys
Who did you pay off
later.
to get that roll? Oh my god.
Something tells me Anson's dead.
I mean,
I salute you, sir.
yeah, Teak is, Teak's in trouble. Willow
Okay, well,
comes
not with
to
those
action.
rolls. Not with those rolls.
Does that already account for the?
Yeah, that counts for the damage. You can roll a second one for the damage. Both of those are gonna hit.
Oh yeah, does this count? What the?
Yeah, on a
Does-
D12, you on 4D12, you rolled 2 1s. But I mean that makes up for 3 crits on
Oh,
4D20.
3
rolls.
ones.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
wait.
3 nat 20s, 3 nat 1.
Away.
Did that count? Did that roll 2d12s?
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
That's
That's
That's going to be 9 and 9. Oh, I'm sorry, 7 and 9 points of piercing damage. Yeah, he's gonna take it. I mean, he's got no option but to.
Upon attack, melee attack, I'm going to mark him with Cavalier Unwavering Mark. As long as I'm within 5 feet of him, he has disadvantage against any attack roll that's not made against me.
Okay.
And if he attacks anyone else but me, then I get to make a special attack at him. Also, oops. You're covering it up.
Oh, sorry.
Yes.
I was just showing his thing to you guys.
He also, Willow also has a Sentinel feat.
Okay, so his speed becomes
And-
0 and he loses his reaction.
Yes, and if he moves away from me at all, he provokes an attack of opportunity.
Okay.
And I'm going to make an athletics check to, as a bonus action to, push him.
All right,
shield
trying to
bashing
knock
out.
him off. Yeah, Teak.
Yeah.
All right, so he's been rolling amazing against Teak. Let's see how he does against you. Go ahead and roll that contested athletics. Watch this be like a 4. No, you are going to come in, and just lay into this guy, and then that final attack, he's going to be reeling, and he's going to be shoved 5 feet off of Teak onto the ground.
And he's going to hunker down and interpose himself between Teak and all Spartan-esque.
All right.
If you would.
It is from there. It is Skari's turn. Skari is going to roll a percentage die on if she helps you guys or helps him, and I didn't set the parameters for it before I rolled it, and I just rolled. Above 50%, she helps you guys. Below 50%, she helps him. Skari is... I would not have her spell list on here, right? That's fair. Skari is going to Skari's going to run into this fight between you guys and him, with him on the ground, and you guys. She's going to put a hand up to Willow and say, "Stop! Stop! Stop!" and pull the book from his waist. He wrestles with...
That means it's in the open, right?
Yes. He wrestles with Skari over it. She says, "It's the book you want, right?" And he is pulling back and forth with it. Her sleight of hand check failed. He maintains control of it. Alward can take a shot of it.
That's a 15.
A 15 is not going to hit it because it's so small between the two of them going back and forth.
What's the DC for it?
I set it at 18. I am going to put a percentage die. Below 20%, you hit 10%, you hit Anston. 11 to 20%, you hit Skari.
I'll be fine if I manage to pin Anson's wrist to a thing.
Yeah, 42. Your arrow whizzes by, catching her attention as, like she's grabbing the book from him. She lets go of the book, and Anston maintaining control of it. All of this is happening at the same time, by the way. So
too high.
Yeah. All right. Next up on the initiative, it's Fractus.
Ogin's next.
Ogin. I'm sorry. Yes. I in my mind I was like that was 17. Moving on from 17. It is Ogin's turn.
Calm your crazy. Bonus action, changing into a giant constrictor.
All right.
And then basically just starting this grapple / swallow on Anston.
Okay. Is that a contested check or is it a strength save?
It's actually a straight attack.
Okay.
And hopefully I'm getting this roll correct. So that's just against armor class.
All right. Giant constrictor snake. The target is grappled and it is an escape DC. Okay.
Yeah, it's the natural DC is a 16.
Yeah.
I think that's based on its proficiency in strength against Ogin. If that calculation is correct, it would be an 18.
Okay. 24 is definitely gonna hit him. He's not wearing armor. He's just been, alert to your guys' attacks.
Okay.
You can
and restrained.
Yeah. So
2d8 plus.
Go ahead and roll the damage. That is Fractus is the last person that moves before him. It is Fractus's turn.
I'm gonna slide in and try and kick the book away and grab it.
Okay, it is in his hand between him and Ogin. Yeah. Skari tried to pull it off of his person. He grabbed at it, pulling it back. She was.
I thought his arm was still out, so I could grab it. Okay.
Actually, you know what? I'll roll you a percentage die. Above 40%, it is 43. There's a space between his between Ogin's snaking body that you can see his hand clenching this book. If you want to take it from him, it is a contested check, DC 12. He is clinging to this thing.
Sleight of hand?
Sleight of hand or strength. He's clinging to this thing, but he can't position himself in such a way to stop you.
Yeah, I'd pocket it.
All right. He is going to start screaming. What is that all you're doing?
Do I have an action?
That was your action.
That was my action. Then for a bonus action, just in case, I'm gonna do a insightful fighting.
Alrighty. That's an insight check against you.
Oh my god!
That's a very nice book you're holding.
That's a nat 1. Oh god.
All right. So
It's a very nice book.
I am going to show you guys something. Let's see. We're going to move this right here. There we go.
Wait, I'm assuming he can test that, by the way, Brandon?
Yes, he does contest that, but Anston has 2 different character sheets. And I am going to show this to you guys now, but I'm going to move it to the other screen. His stats change, so these are not always his stats. He is attacking your insight check, so that's gonna go in, or he's attacking, your insight, so that's gonna go in his favor, I believe. Wow. That's, also, too, it's a nat 1, so. Anyways.
Yeah, that's fine.
Anston
nice
is
book.
going to beat your insight. You do, however, get the book from him. That is everybody's turn before his. Anston's eyes start glowing, burning black flames from them, and he begins screaming in the constrictor's grip. Every life will bow in service to my will, or 1,000 towns and villages will burn in the wake of my rage. Your civilization will cower back to their cities behind the walls of stone, and the same walls will topple and crush the weak who dare hide behind them. That's about all the time he has, like, for speaking.
Sorry, what was that?
Round.
Brandon, at this point, Soulmane hears all this going on, right?
Yeah, Soulmane definitely hears all this.
Hearing him screaming all that, he's gonna now decide to actually get involved.
He is going to roll an Eldritch Blast. Well, thanks. Thank you. Why would I want... Okay. Anyways, he'll make 3 attack rolls at Ogun. What's Ogun's AC in this form?
He has disadvantage on those.
Yes.
Yeah.
The first one is going to miss. The second one is going to hit. And
Hang on. Now, if he is completely restrained, can he still do that?
I think Eldritch Blast is just verbal components.
No, it's somatic
Verbal
as
and
well.
somatic.
Oh, verbal and somatic. Let me check that condition.
Restrained. A creature's speed becomes 0 and it can't benefit from any bonus. Attack rolls against the creature have advantage, and the creature's attack rolls have disadvantage, and the creature has disadvantage on dexterity saving throws. It doesn't say that he can't do somatic.
Yeah, normally you can restrain a creature in a way that they can't do somatic components. Like, let's say you had them tied to a chair. If you tied their hands and wrists down to the chair, they can't do the gestures. He does have one hand free that we already rolled. With that hand, he'd be able to perform somatic components. He rolls 3 attacks, only one of which hitting, and let's pray. That's gonna be 11. He deals 11 points of damage to. Or is this a D12? Is it a D12 for Eldritch blast. No,
D10.
it's a D10. Okay, yeah. He deals 11 points of force damage to Ogun, and Ogun begins hearing whispers, as does
Question.
everybody within 20 feet of him.
Question.
Yes.
That's Eldritch Blast is a ranged attack,
Yes.
which means that everyone within 5 feet gets an attack of opportunity. Oh wait, no, never mind.
It's a spell.
I'm going
Yeah.
crazy.
Does 17 hit his AC?
17 is going to... Yes, it is going to hit his AC. You do have advantage on him, too, because you can flank with Ogun or Teak.
And
Who's restrained, so it's
Okay,
advantage
so
anyway.
let's roll another one, boys.
Good
That's not a one.
lord! Alright, so that's... he took 10 from the... he took 15 from you the first time, 10 from the constriction, and then 16 from that. 25 plus 16 is 30, 40... I have him at 41 points of damage. His empowered form, like, while he was looking a little bit worn down, just his scars are, you see his scars, like, start bleeding out these black flames. He does not seem hurt at all. He is still struggling in Ogun's grip. It is the bottom of the round. It is Teek's turn.
Okay.
Teek hears whispers of madness.
Okay, dokie.
Wait, what about Kara?
Kara also hears whispers of madness. It's a certain thing that's procking. It's a certain thing that's going to proc anything else from it. Just like in his presence, though, eyes burning, he's screaming. You guys just hear.
No, I mean Kara goes before Teak in initiative.
Okay. What was that? 8.1 on the tie. If
This is 3.
Oh, okay. I thought Teek rolled an 8. My bad. Yeah.
No, Teak got 3.
Go ahead. Kara can take attacks. Kara hears whispers of madness.
Okay. Practice. Did he put the book away, or has he literally just got it in his hand?
Technically, I have it still in my hand.
Good. Okay, Kara's gonna walk over to you and bite the book.
Okay.
Roll me an attack roll against the book. You fail to hit it on a nat 1.
I mean, it depends. Is Practice trying to prevent it from happening? Well, he probably doesn't even realize it's happening.
No, I don't.
Hey, that's not a one.
Yeah.
It's not on that one.
You deal 9 points of piercing damage, sinking your teeth, or Kara's teeth, into the book.
For a second, I thought you said sinking Teak into the book, and I'm like, wait, what?
Bye.
Not again.
No.
Give me a.
The prophecy is true.
The book is still intact. Give me a DC 14 Wisdom saving throw for Kara.
No.
6. Kara succumbs to madness.
Well.
God.
This is always a fun effect and a fun table. Let's see, where is it? Alright. I'm going to roll for you on the madness table for Kara. Got an 86. The character is stunned for 1d10 of minutes.
Oof.
That's okay.
4 minutes. Kara is stunned.
Is the book still in her mouth, or did she drop it?
Yeah, she's going to drop it. Her damage remains. The book looks barely holding together. It is bottom of the round. Teek's turn.
Okay.
I mean, all
so
of this.
many actions I can do.
Yeah, all of this is happening at the same time. So, like, as Teak is, like, getting up from being, freed from the grapple, he's sitting there shouting, "Every life will bow down!" And, as he's being restrained by this giant snake.
Alright, I'm going to use my Channel Divinity to turn the Faithless. Every fiend and fae within 30 feet of me must make a Wisdom saving throw. DC 15.
Alright.
Hey. So do I count as Fae?
You have Fae
No.
ancestry, but you're a humanoid.
Yay.
What he
Let's
said.
see. Wisdom saving throw?
Alright.
Alright, and
DC 15.
what's the effect?
They can take no action while they can see me. They must attempt to flee from me as far as possible.
Oh, are they
only
afraid?
They're not frightened.
Okay.
However, they must take the dash action to flee from me if possible.
Okay.
Not
So it's like a good old-fashioned turn on dead.
Yes. Yawn old-fashioned turn undead. Let's see. It can't willingly move to a space within 30 feet of you. It also can't take reactions. For its action, it can only use the dash action or try to escape from an effect that prevents it from moving. If there's nowhere to move, the creature can use the dodge action. If the creature's true form is concealed by an illusion, shape-shifting, or other effect, that form is revealed while it is turned. It is turned for 1 minute or until it takes damage. After presenting the holy symbol of Umiya, Teak is going to say, "Do not hurt him."
Alright. So, it's very interesting that you did that, because he has immunity to the fear condition, but it does not fear him in, any way. He is a turn. He's not immune to turning.
Yes.
Alright. So,
Turn around and stem.
yeah, you are going to see this. You're going to see this fire. These whispers, like you've been hearing. This language. Teak speaks Infernal, right?
Yes.
Okay. It's not Infernal, but the characters sound similar, and it's just.
I speak Infernal as well.
Yeah, it's not Infernal. It's Abyssal, but it's this long drawn. And those are going to fade along with the fire in Anston's eyes. The cuts on his skin are going to stop burning, and beneath all of this is a very bloody, beaten Anston. End of the round. Obviously he's not what just everything that was like happening to him. He's going to look, and from his perspective, he was holding Teak like, come on, let's not come to blows, and now he's constricted and stabbed like half to hell, and he's gonna look around and say, what? It is top of the round with
Flipping
Albert's turn.
halfway.
Yeah,
He's currently flying through the air, short swords in hand.
Soulmane join initiative?
Yeah, I rolled a 21.
Okay, yeah, I see it now.
So yeah,
Teak's going to raise up her hand and say, "Do not hurt him."
okay, first of all, you have no idea what's happening. Second of all, there's a halfling flying through the air, and there's some holes in the book. Well, maybe I should make more.
Alright, yeah, the book is going to burst in a cloud of black smoke, and in its place is
It's a double stab.
just ash. I'm going to roll a percentage die. The residual energy is not enough to cause any madness on Alward. However, Kara's still stunned. Like you see, like Kara bit this thing, and she's just been like quivering, right in place for
It's been all 3 or 4 seconds. I'm pretty sure I was too busy flipping through the air to notice her initial quivering.
Yeah. The book is destroyed. In its place is ashes.
Alright.
I'm gonna stand up, like, pull my short swords off the ground, like, shake the dust off them, and return them to their scabbards.
It is Soulmane's turn. You see... you guys can choose to stop moving in initiative order if you want. Yeah. I
As he
mean,
comes running out of the tent.
yeah, and you guys have access to Anston's character sheet. Regular old Anston has 68 points of health. He's taken 41 points of damage. It is if Soulmane wants to do anything, he sees Anston restrained in this giant constrictor snake, Teak, holy symbol in front of him, Alward stabbing the ground, pile of dirt, Kara quivering, Skari on the floor in front of Ogun. It is pure chaos.
What the hell's going on out here?
Demons! But there's a demon! Because what don't we need today? What haven't we seen?
Soulmane is going to head over to the rest of the group, but ready in action in case anything else starts to happen.
Okay, what's that action going to be? He's going to, attack? Or...
He's got his rapier at the ready.
Alright. Moving on down the round, I believe somebody was moving at 20. That was
That's
Willow?
me.
Yes. Anston doesn't seem at all as furious as he was. He seems more confused than anything. However, it's your turn.
Okay. So he's going to maintain his his ready stance, but he's going to look at Teak as he's under arrest, right?
It would appear so.
All right.
We're taking him to the authorities, right?
Well, don't you think it's a little intense to arrest someone based on them being demonically possessed? Maybe the fact I've destroyed the book has cleared him of all that.
Still assaulting
Maybe use your magic divine powers to figure that out.
Or maybe I'm taking him in because he assaulted one of our order with a deadly intent.
Again, use some of your magic divine powers to figure that out.
First of all, I don't have magic divine powers. Secondly, you need to mind yourself.
Teak,
Oh,
why
I'm sorry,
does
I'm
your
trying to look at it
meeting-
from a logical perspective. Literal demon.
Teak, why does your party always suck?
Teak's going to facepalm as effectively as she can with her helmet on it. Say,
Chunk.
Allow me some time.
with that, she's going to step forward and cast Protection from Good and Evil on Anston. If he is already under the possession of a fiend, he has advantage on any saving throw that he would get against it.
All right. That is maybe the first time in like 20 sessions that spell has been cast.
Alright, further. The target also can't be charmed, frightened, or possessed by them. If it is already charmed, frightened, or possessed by such a creature, the target has advantage on any new saving throw against the relevant effect.
Okay.
I'm gonna intercede between Skari and Anston and kind of lead her away.
Yeah, she is, she's stunned, not in madness, but kind of at, like, what she, just saw. You can either, you know, roll you can, lead her away as she just kind of, like, willingly, walks the whole time looking back at Anston. It is, so you guys have, one combat, essentially. Anston seems like very confused by like everything that's going on. Does Ogun release his grip from him?
Ogun's going to take a moment and kind of wait and just hold him. And when he
Yeah,
hears he's gone,
protection
like
from
freaking
good
out
and
or
evil
whatever,
lasts.
and let him go.
The spell lasts 10 minutes, so Teak will say 10 minutes. While she's waiting, she's going to spend 15 points of lay on hands to heal Anston. As she does so, she's going to say a short prayer to Umiya to cleanse Anston.
Anston looks absolutely terrified at you. When he comes to, he looks around and says, "Where am I? Who are you, Skari?"
Teak is going to say, "Careful now. You're in good hands. We do not want to hurt you."
Soulmane's gonna step up here in that.
Anston continues to panic. Ogun's released him, right?
No,
Ogun's gonna
not
hold
just
him,
yet.
but
Okay.
so he's not like crushing him to death or anything like that, but he's good and surrounded.
Yeah, he's going to roll an escape attempt. I don't know what that's. Oh yeah, that's going to be a nat 1. There's dexterity for you. He's going to make an escape attempt the whole time, struggling in this grip, and he's going to say, "What happened? Where am I? Who are you?"
Anston, do you recognize me?
He looks at you and says, "Who the hell are you? Or who the bridge
Okay,
are
wait,
you?"
just a moment. How is Ogun talking? Isn't he in wild shape?
No, that's
No, Ogun's not talking.
Yeah, that was Soulmane who asked if you recognized him.
Right.
Okay.
Teak is going to kind of cup Anston by the chin and say, "We are members of the unrepentant of Umiya. We are trying to absolve your affliction. Please try to remain calm."
He's going to roll an insight check and say, "Wait, affliction? Oh god, that damn vampire! Rosero, where is he?"
He, too, is fine. He's doing a little bit better than you are at the moment. I need you to trust us.
He looks at you and says, I died. How am I here?"
Teak, I'm gonna go get Cyril and...
No. Not yet. Bring Skari over here.
I don't think she's in condition right now, so I was suggesting the other two, since they're a little more with it at the moment.
Here's the thing. I got a similar reading from Rosero that I got from Anston. We're going to deal with Rosero in the morning, but for the time being, we're going to sit here for 10 minutes, and then we will figure out what to do from there.
For Rosero, by the way, the difference between him and Anston, you detected 1 in Anston's space. You detected 6 adjacent to Rosero. Rosero did not come up as a fiend to you.
Right. But I don't really have, at this point in time, I don't have the means with which to get into a full-blown discussion on what's happening right now. I'm trying to be brief.
Yeah.
I think all of us
just want to
be
make
on our
sure,
way by this point.
Yeah, you knew.
Right. After a minute passes, the turning would wear off. What happens to Anston?
He's going to, I think, is this a space? The creature has advantage on any...
on any new saving throw.
Yes.
Did he stop being possessed at a new point in time?
You are going to... like, after a minute, you're going to witness... you're going to witness him just kind of shudder and look around. And, he's talking to you. He's still very flustered. He's like, who's that? Who's that? Who's that? Looks up in the air. Who's that? Of course, all of his who's that were at the directed at party members. And then, after a minute, he looks up and like, who's that? However, it still seems that he's, terrified and flustered.
Okay. The interaction I'm looking for specifically there is that if the turn made him stop being possessed, protection from good and evil would prevent him from being possessed again. But upon him asking, looking into the air and saying, "Who's that?" I'm going to use another use of Divine Sense.
You detect the presence of a fiend. It is within range of you. I believe. Okay, that's one of the things I need to look at. I just looked at protection from good and evil because I thought it was like a little 10-foot sphere they couldn't enter, but no, it's going to be in an adjacent square to him. But yeah, it is not possessing him.
Okay. Teak is. I don't really have a whole lot. Teak is going to look at Ogun and say, "You may release him. He is fine for the time being." She's going to glance over.
Wind around him, but he's staying in snake form.
Okay. Teak takes hold of Anston's hand and says, "I need you to step into that building with me. Will you come with me?"
Still, completely flustered, is going to nod, because he knows a holy person when he sees one. He's going to say, Did you resurrect me?
She shakes her head and says, "No, that is a story that will become clear to you in due time. But for the time being, I have momentarily cleansed you, but I am afraid that my protection of you may not last. You were, I believe, possessed by a fiend from beyond the bridge. What I'm going to ask of you is that you willingly submit to being bound for the night."
He is going to nod and say, "Did I hurt Skari? Where is she?"
No, she's fine. You did not hurt her.
He nods and says, "Of course. You guys step back into the the command stable, and you are going to see Nykirin is hunched over the table, poring over the maps. She and Rosero stand at attention as you step in.
Teak is going to glance about at them and say, "By the gods, I'm tired." She's going to say, "I'm going to explain something that I don't have all of the answers to at this moment. Here's what you need to know. Your companion, Anston, was possessed by a fiend. I suspect from beyond the bridge, right around the time that you resurrected him with the wish from whatever it was device that you utilized. We had a brief scuffle in which injuries were exchanged, things were said, books were burned." Upon mentioning the book, she turns to Fractus and says, "If you could be so good, perhaps sprinkle a little bit of holy water on the ashes of the book."
I'm not actually in the building. I'm talking with Skari outside.
Okay.
We're kind of walking that way.
Okay. Then she'll turn to... Does
Willow
have holy water?
Does he have any on his person? No, he's religious, but he's not divinely inspired, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, Fractus didn't have holy water either, just FYI.
Alright, I can create holy water.
That was kind of what I was counting on, so why I didn't have it.
Yeah. Actually, hold up. Creating holy water.
That never happens to me.
I don't know how creating holy water works in this edition.
I mean, I'll say you spend a short rest praying over it. If paladins have access to the spell Bless, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Bless can give you up to 1 barrel full of holy water.
That's a lot.
That is an excessive amount of holy water. It is infused with holy energy, too.
Oh, here we go. A cleric or paladin may create holy water by performing a special ritual. It takes 1 hour to perform, uses 25 gold's worth of powdered silver, and requires the caster to expend a first level spell slot.
Oh, yeah, almost exactly like that. So,
Yeah. So, is there a, is it possible for us to acquire 25 gold's worth of powdered silver?
You can ask Willow for his short sword and start shaving it with the rock.
Wait.
Or Ogun has
Ogun has a holy
religious-
symbol.
Odin will pop into his human form since it's
Willow's like,
absorbed
please
and
don't.
hold out.
Willow's like,
silver
but my
gold
sword.
symbol. There you go.
Not even intentional of why I gave you guys that item, but convenient.
Super convenient.
Sir, please.
Yeah. All right. We're gonna grind this thing down into.
Wait. Before you do that,
Oh right.
first off, here's the rest
holy-
of them. And second, you should probably apologize to that god for doing that.
Right. Whose holy? Do I respect the deity whose holy symbol this is?
It's one of the 4 ascended. I'm going to roll a
I
D4.
probably do then.
On the it is the 4th ascended is a symbol of Soyesa. You do, but out of all the gods you respect, it's hers the least.
Inquiry.
Yes.
Would grinding down a holy symbol to make holy water, is that technically sacrilegious?
No. I mean, it's what it's meant for.
Right.
It is kind of sacrilegious to Soyesa, as her whole chantry's teaching is no mercy. And,
Right.
That's the opposite of Teek's chantry.
Or she can just get her panties out of a twist then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Teak is still going to apologize to Soyesa because, it is disrespectful, and I don't mean to be, but at the same time, she can suck it. I just don't want to. I don't want to tick her off too much.
No mercy, no respite.
Anyway, but yeah, Teak is going to set to creating this holy water. I actually don't have a first level spell slot. Will a second level spell slot do?
Yes.
Further question: could I make 2 flasks of holy water with a second level slot?
Yeah, I was gonna say with a second level you could double the amount you make.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. I will do that then. And once I have the 2 flasks of holy water,
The symbol is worth 50 gold, by the way, so it's gonna come up to just enough silver for 2 of them.
All right. Check that out. All right. I'm gonna hand 1 flask to Willow and say, "Where the book turned to ash, sprinkle it there."
Copy that.
She's then going to wander up to Anston and say, "Just a quick double precaution, if you will permit me."
He nods and says, yes, by Umia's will.
Alright, I'm gonna chant a prayer to Umiya and grasp my holy symbol in one hand and the flask of holy water in the other and anoint him.
Alright, you don't notice any change in him, but,
Okay. Did I use all of the holy water or just part of it?
just part of it.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to wander over to Roseril and say, you two.
Roseril shrugs and says, I learned pretty quickly. They weren't anything but voices in my head.
She nods and says, permit me all the same.
He allows you his forehead forward.
Okay. She does the same thing for Roseril, and says, all right, we're going to sleep here because I can't imagine walking even 1 more mile forward.
So I take it our talks for the night are over, Teak?
No, I still have the energy to speak. It's just not going to be half as impassioned as it was before. She's going to turn to Nakiran and say, "All right.
Where was
First
I?
things first." She's going to turn to Nakiran and say, "I understand that you're used to being in a position of leadership, but what I'm going to need you to do is to stop doing anything. And I mean anything. Every idea that you have come up with since I have met you has only put you and your group into deeper trouble as far as I am concerned. And I do not want it to result in any trouble coming to my people. Do I make myself clear?"
Nikiran is going to nod at you and say, Crystal.
She says, "All right. And as much as I am loath to say this next bit, it is ever so pertinent." She glances toward Ogun and says, "If you act up one more time, I'm going to throw you to Ogun, and he's going to find out whether or not you taste good. Do I make myself clear?"
Once again, Nikiran nodding and say, Crystal.
Nah, that's not how that works. You screw up again like that, and there's not going to be any teak telling anybody anything.
She gestures to Ogun with one thumb and says, "What he said."
Or Gord. I could do Gord.
She turns to Roseril and
I
says,
digress.
"Roseril, you have been pleasant and cooperative. Thank you for that, because that seems to be the, it seems like you're reaching for the stars compared to the rest of your companions, and I thank you for that."
Roseril's gonna say, well, I always said I was the smartest one of the bunch.
She places a hand on his shoulder and says, "Truer words have yet to reach my ears from your company."
Nikiran rolls her eyes at that.
We said one more thing wrong.
Is Skari in here, and or is she well?
No, she's with me.
Yeah,
All
we
right,
were going
in
to
that
switch to
case,
them.
She'll turn to Solmain and say, "All right. I understand that you're in a unique position. I understand that life has not been kind to you. I understand that you are doing what you think is the best course of action. But I need you to understand that I don't care about any of that, alright? Initially, I did. Initially, I had some amount of empathy for you. But understand that moving forward, you are going to operate as one of my numbers, or you are not going to operate at all. The same threat that I gave to Nikiran also now applies to you. Is there any possibility that you misunderstand my words?"
I hear you fine.
All right. Next, and I beseech you, do not try to lie to me. Do not even think about any non-truth in this moment. Did you know where Terracry and Elena were in the temple before we entered?
I did, and I tried explaining that, but you decided to move in on your own. I had said
Probably my fault.
I had said that they were in the upper part, but we decided to, and I followed your guys' orders to go into the lower.
Very well. Thank you for the honesty. This was clearly an oversight on our part. The next time that I consult you, I will give greater gravity to your words. And for that, for not doing so earlier, I apologize. Now, she turns to, she steps back for a moment and gestures to everybody in the room. Is there anything that you would like to say to me at this moment?
I'm gonna roll them all percentage dice. Nykirin speaks above 75%, 62. Rosero above 80, 61. And Anston above 50, 16. All of them shake their head.
She nods and says,
Alright. Where's Fractus and Scary?
You head out to find them?
I do.
Alright, we're gonna jump over to Fractus and Scary and the rest of the party outside. The rest of the party sees Fractus lead Scary away. Scary is going to be kind of bumbling to herself as you guys are walking, and she points back at where Anston had been restrained, saying, "Did you see his eyes? He's been possessed." She looks horrified and says, "I had sex with him. Am I possessed?"
No. Umiya wills. You're not. If you had been, Teak would have kept you in the barn.
She nods and says, "I thought that book was driving him crazy. He'd spend every night writing in it before we went to bed, and I don't even know where he got it from."
Well, he was possessed by a fiend from the bridge, so probably from him.
She runs her hand over her face and says, "When we resurrected him, Rosero ran off screaming in terror and madness, and Anston was just fine standing in the rubble of the building. I should have known. We should have known."
It's okay. He'll be better now. Teak is on the job. When I was first at the Lucksmith Anvil, Teak came in to hire somebody to help her. And my mentor, Imani, had many good things to say about her, and she said that Teak was one of the best of Umiya's plans. You must believe her.
She nods and says, Madam Teak, I do. She's a good person. She'll straighten him out." And this is going to continue for some time of just Scary being just rather frazzled. And, reflexing back to the line of like, "Oh, we should have known." And different questions of, like, "Oh God, am I possessed from this? Am I possessed from this?" As you guys are talking out here, you're going to see the rest of the party, storming in your direction.
I'm going to look up at him.
Yeah. Seeing, the angry approaching Teak, Scary's going to say, "I didn't know, I didn't know."
Angry. I'm not angry.
Yeah.
Teak is more tired than anything else. Just like, it's been a long day, it's been a long night, I'm ready for a nap.
Boss, did you need us to come back?
Teak glances at in Fractus's direction, takes off her helmet and says, No, it's... I don't mean to interrupt. If there's a conversation that needs to continue being had, then let it continue being had. But I did want to say a few things. She walks up to Scary, places a hand on her shoulder, and says, "You are safe with us. If you... I'm convinced now of
of some amount of innocence.
You don't have to stay up
And
so late.
in and based on what I already know of you, I understand that you're a little bit worried about Anston and about what it means that you have spent time with him. Understand that that's really not how any of that works, and you're fine. And for what it's worth, I don't want to hurt any of you. Understand that I do what I must, but that at the end of the day, it is a net positive for me if we all walk away without injury. And that is my primary goal. And that is a goal that I strive towards always, in all things, no matter what the subject matter at hand is. With that, Teak is going to turn and walk back towards the building, putting her helmet back on.
Yeah. Skari wipes her eyes, and she's going to look towards Fractus and say, "I'm fine. I'm fine."
Good.
The party can rest for the day if you guys want and hit the road, or you guys can continue talking to your peeps.
Teak's going to sleep, man.
Bring it over.
It's time for 8 hours of rest.
I would just like to say for a moment, sex ed teacher Teak, look, demons are not a sexually transmitted disease.
That's not how that works.
Skari's like, okay.
That's not how it works. I've seen more than one in my day. That's not how.
Where is Anston being held at?
You guys tied him up in the command stable.
Yes, Teak would like to make sure that they know he is not to be mistreated. We're going to give him a bedroll. We're going to make sure that he's comfortable aside from being tied up.
Yeah, Anston completely complies. You know, it's like he just, from his perspective, from just, you know, the party talking to him, you know, he died in combat. Or the last thing he remembers is, you know, running headfirst into a powerful spellcaster. Nothing else, and then waking up here, restrained by a giant constrictor, bleeding half to death, and then a paladin of Umiya telling him he's been possessed. And he's just like, yeah, just do what you gotta do, man.
After Willow gets his 4 hours, he's gonna position himself close by and just keep an eye on him. Keep watch, if you would, since he's got 4 hours before everybody else.
Right. Before she goes to sleep, Teak is going to wander up to Willow, place her hands on his shoulders, and say, "Thank you very much."
Willow spends the night watching him. He is completely restrained in his bedroll. He fights in his sleep the whole time, waking up several moments, you know, screaming, "No!" The book reappears next to him. The one that he was that was destroyed. Willow can destroy it with, you know, the with his swords and the remaining part of like his holy water. But what he's going to find out is this book reappears every hour on the floor next to him.
Okay. What he's going to do?
It reappears at the end of every hour next to him.
Right. What he's going to do is once he confirms that it's just going to reappear again, he's going to take the book and even if he has to buy one, he's going to find a chest with a lock on it and put it inside the locked chest. and
Okay.
sit on it.
Yeah.
And he's got the key on his person.
Yeah, your final hour, finding a chest and putting it in there. At the end of the hour, the book does not reappear next to him. Peeking inside the chest, it's still in there.
I'm gonna buy a good lock too, by the way. And when everybody gets up, he's going to report back to Teak and tell her what happened, and hand her the key.
Waking up though, he seems the same frazzled version of himself.
Right.
If Teak uses her divine sense this morning, you notice the fiend is still next to him. It's in a square adjacent to him.
Okay.
So it is the morning of the 24th of
my
Priestess.
features are back.
Say it again.
My features are back.
Yeah, everything is back. Spells and all of those great things. Ogun gets his shapeshifts back, and
I get my shapeshifts back on a short rest.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it spells.
Take a little time to juggle a few spells around.
Yeah, I'm gonna look over the paladin spells and see if there's anything I can prepare to help us with this predicament.
I mean, the predicament's solved. You guys are fine. He's not possessed.
Sure. Right.
If it makes you feel any better, in the original Group A, at a clutch moment of Elena's success, that thing was going to reveal itself and try and take it from her.
That might have actually been nice.
Could have been. Could have been.
So just so that Ogun has a chance to understand what the fuck is going on, how much of that makes sense to him? The whole possession and everything like that.
It is not a common thing. The gatekeeper, just it's like far as you can tell, as magical occurrences you've heard around the university. The gatekeeper keeps a tight lid on the bridge, and seldom anything travels between the realms. And if anything is possessing somebody, it's probably like a fragment of something left on this plane.
Okay.
Yeah, it's uncommon for fiends from the bridge to just randomly possess people.
Okay, so is that whole possession current situation or previous situation done with for good, or is the fiend still out there on this plane, or
yeah, you guys, and that's
Anston still at risk?
It's something from this world. It is. I mean, you don't know exactly what it is, but Teak already knows it's still there with you guys. He's not possessed by it. It is, if something was capable of possessing somebody, it exists here. You guys did not kill anything, you just banished it out of him.
Okay.
Oh, we gotta put him down, boys.
I'm imagining that thing of just shame.
Shame.
Yeah, that gif.
As I load the structure.
Teak is going to glance around after divine sensing once more in the morning. She's going to kind of clasp her hands in front of each other. And she's going to say, "So, here's the situation. Based on what I can put together, when Roseril and Anston died, and you consequently brought them back from the grave using whatever device it was, they
Nykiran adds on to your statement an orb of Calgalian.
Yes, that thing. Whatever that is. I have no idea what that is. In any case, when they came back with a few,
History.
shall we
checks.
say, hangers-on.
Yes.
History.
Now, you see, these hangers-on, we shall call them, are fiends. It would appear that Anston came back with one a little more deeply embedded than previously, but Recellerl came back with more. There was only one currently possessing Anston, and then there were 6 around Recellerl. I'm sure he could elaborate on what they have had to say, but based on what Recellerl has told me, they're mostly harmless. They just whisper things into your ear. Is this correct, Recellerl?
He nods, looking to the side and say, well, I'm gonna roll him a check yesterday if he saw Teak. He did not. He's going to say, Sir Paladin, it's, I'm pretty sure they're not even real. He looks next to him and runs his hand through the square, nothing happening, and shrugs.
Believe me when I say that I can sense them. They are very much real, just not tangible.
He is going to point at you and say, I'm going to keep believing they're not real for my own sanity.
Very good. Please do.
Recellerl is the smartest of their bunch.
Right. Teak is going to turn to Anston
Denial.
and say, you may find some difficulty sleeping or functioning, but you should be perfectly all right. We have burned the book that you were obsessing over. We couldn't really read it, so we didn't know of what importance it served or what indeed you were writing in it. By the way, you were writing in it, which I'm told is an anomaly for yourself.
So for a minute, you see him kind of get excited, like, I can read. Oh. He pipes up and then remembers his newfound ability is brought about by demonic possession. And pipes down.
Teak is going to just kind of internally, she thinks, yeah, it sounds about right. She's going to continue and say, now, I'm going to ask our deity to purge the area once more, and we shall see if that gets rid of them. If it does not, I'm afraid this may be a permanent traveling condition for us until we can return to a temple or cathedral where we can fix this more permanently.
So the whole party is getting ready to go on the road.
Yes.
Teak, however Teak's going to, purge this, you can roll a religion
I was
check.
going to turn...
Okay. You can. Larius is, packing her bag, getting ready to travel with you guys. And,
By the gods, I forgot Hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, she's been silent. She was left for dead in a tavern, so...
Yeah.
She's going to pipe up and say, I don't think your god can do it. I met a god that was keeping him locked down, but I don't know where he went.
Teak's going to raise her
she
index
continues
finger
packing
into the
her
air
saddlebag.
as if she's going to say something and then just think better of it and say, very well. I'm still going to burn my channel divinity for the day to turn the faithless.
All right. You turn that thing. It is intangible.
Turn around.
It fails that check super hard, and it is for all intents and purposes gone. And Anson will tell you, that's good. That's a lot quieter. A minute passes, and he starts looking around again.
Teak nods and says, very unfortunate. But now we must waste no more time. We must move. Elena's no doubt on the move, as is Terra. We would be remiss if we allowed them to gain any more distance on us.
Alrighty. Destinations of the Ililmagian border.
Yes, we're heading towards, I believe you said Alien earlier?
Okay.
Heading towards that Earthfire.
Yeah, the thing.
That's near Logan the guy.
Oh, before we head out, Teek's going to pull Ilarius aside, and she wants to have a conversation with her.
All right, you are able to do so, and Larius is, going to be the first to tell you. I was just traveling as a scribe. I was hired, and I did the job that I was hired for. Please, I don't want to see the gallows.
Teek says, "Whoa.
I only shot 2 people."
Okay, first of all, calm down. Secondly, I'm familiar with the situation that you were placed in. I understand a good number of things about the group that you were traveling with previously. And believe me when I say I understand being afraid for my life. And hopeless. Now,
go ahead.
I would like to say, I do believe that you did not have a hand in any of the things that were taking place. I will be clearing your name, regardless of the amount of success that we find. Now, that said, I can't clear your name until we're back to a proper town or principality. But you are welcome to continue journeying with us. I do not ask that you fight alongside us, but that you do aid us in any way possible. I understand that you had a book that was burned, correct?
Ilarius nods. She's going to continue and say, with the scraps of parchment I was given, I was able to record most of what was important.
Teek's going to nod. She will hand Ilarius her journal and say, "You may use this to continue recording."
All right.
I would ask that you do not read any of my previous entries, but while it is in your possession, I cannot stop you from doing so.
You hand her the journal, and she immediately starts flipping through it until you get to that statement. She looks up, growing a little red, and flipping to an open page, and nods. She started reading your previous entries, but stopped.
Right. Teek chuckles, which kind of comes out like before she remembers herself, and it says, "As I said, if it makes you feel better to continue recording, you may do so, but I have neither the coin nor the interest to pay you to do so. For all intents and purposes, as long as you travel with us, you have as many liberties as you had previously."
All right. I'm sorry, I was doing math. Ilarius is going to nod and say, well, when we get back to a city, I'll look for work in my profession. I was paid quite handsomely to travel with them, but both of my benefactors are gone.
She tilts her head to his side and says, It is interesting. I would actually like to hear stories of your benefactors as we travel. Is this agreeable to you?
She is gonna think on it for a moment and say at the rate of 150 gold per month.
I can currently spare 10.
Teak knows 150 gold is
monstrously large.
Is huge
Extortion.
for hirelings. Hirelings
Yes.
get paid 2 silver per day.
Yeah, she says, I'll give you 10 currently, and we can discuss it next when we're in town. Deal?
Yeah, she accepts it, as that would be about her normal rate.
Okay.
You see you kind of see like a look of, like you see her like nod and then like start writing in her journal and a kind of like a sigh of just like, oh, the day's lost.
All right. That's it for me. We can continue on now.
All right, so that is 5 times 1.5. All right, so you guys traveling back to, or if you beeline straight to the Earthfire in a safe path, it is going to take 21 days. However, what I'm thinking is, because I'm trying to think of the best way to do this, if I want to fast travel you guys there and I can just make a document of everything that happens in the various towns you guys pass through, or we can, you know what, we'll do town by town till the end of tonight. So, or do you guys want, I'll give you guys the option. Do you guys want to fast travel straight to the next Earthfire, and I will give you a summary of what happens on the in the cities in between, and a time skip document, or do you guys want to play out each of them?
I'm kind of leaning towards playing things out a little bit. I've also got a couple things I want to get done along the way, or figured out.
All right. So,
There's one more thing that's going to come up very soon. If I'm hearing correctly, Ogun's birthday is the very next day.
No, it's the 24th. Today is Ogun's birthday.
Okay, so it is Ogun's birthday. My bad.
Do you bring it up?
Yes. Well, that's a crappy birthday present. The damn Earthfire's still out.
The scribe, your new scribe, is going to be ecstatic and walk up to you and say, Hilarious, I was born under the star of, or under the constellation of Priestess 2 myself. Best one, I believe.
Well, among my people, we adopt or get part of our initial starting name from the day that we were born. The part of my name that's relevant is Dawn Eye, because I was born just as the sun peeked over Watchtower Butte. It's usually considered to be very auspicious.
She is going to ask, where are your people from? Looking at Ogun, she's going to guess off the bat, Northold?
Red Axe.
She grimaces and then gives you a feigned polite smile of just like, oh yeah, Red Axe is a lovely place.
You kidding? It's cold.
Oh yeah, Red Axe is an awful place.
It's cold, which I actually kind of like, but the crappy part is the okay, out of character. I can't remember the name of the assholes in the keep. What are the Crimson Keep.
Crimson Keep.
Oh, it's cold, which is the good part. The Crimson Keep is the bad part.
She nods and says, that consummate of your guys is, I've heard wild stories.
Yeah, plenty of wild stories to be had.
But with that, this conversation, I'm assuming, is happening on the road.
Yeah. The other thing to get done is to try to figure out what this circlet headband looking thingy is.
Oh, Scary can identify it for you.
Oh, goody.
Anston is tied up, and I'm going to roll a percentage die if they are, traveling in a place together. Anston lets you know he hates when she identifies things. She nevertheless goes through the process. It seems very traumatic for her, as you know you did get this off of a dead corpse. And Scary, returning after going through this oracle-like trance, is going to say it makes you smarter. Oh. Or Cyril, if he's there, is gonna say, can't make me no smarter than I already am.
So, out of character, is that an intelligence bonus or a wisdom bonus?
It is a headband of intellect.
Okay.
Does Soulmane hear Rosero say that?
Yeah, if you guys are traveling in the carriage together, I have most of the blue band that I've just made and arranged in my mind inside the carriage.
No, I'd probably be with him. Soulmane would look up at Rosero and say, maybe you should reconsider that, considering you gave yourself your disguise away so easily.
Rosero's going to tap his head and says, no, that was good thinking on me. See, Mr. Ogan here would have killed me otherwise.
He was going to kill you because you gave yourself away. The only reason he didn't is because I'm the one that pulled the hat off you.
Nah. The whole sneaky scribe thing, I knew that was bad, and it was, he was not in the getting killed realm right away. He had a chance to get that squared away.
He was going to get killed by Raktus, FYI.
Yeah.
That's probably true.
But yeah, you have a headband of intellect. There was another. Scary got those prayer candles too. She can't do anything with those.
So, hang on a sec. Since Scary did that, how much of that was evident to him that she was going through some kind of oracular trance type thing?
That is how we homebrewed. Identify this edition.
Okay.
Just casting the spell, you don't magically know everything about the item. Like, this is the property, this is the property. You experience the item's lifespan of from creation to the moment where it entered your possession. And so she was going through those visions of everything the item had been through, to the point of being killed by Terror Cry.
Okay.
So she's just died in front of you.
Okay. He's curious about the whole killing part. Was it just Terror Cry? What else was going on there?
You ask her about that. She's going to say, well, with that spell, I have to strain my mind to remember the properties I learned about the item, but and she's gonna close her eyes and just kind of place her hand on her.
Wait, hold on. He puts the headband on her.
She's gonna put her hand over her eyes and just strain to think and say he was big. He's larger than any wolf or lycanthrope I've ever seen in a book. Smoke rising from him, shadows circling around him, and just his presence was draining the souls of the people there. And she opens her eyes and says, but that didn't kill them. Him stabbing me through the gut did. That's
That part I figured out.
yeah.
So what was the smoke and the glowing and all that business? Was that just an enchantment or something that was doing all the necrotic crazy?
Thinking on it, you've heard stories of fiends, like just cursed lycanthrope, cursed lycanthrope.
Possession thing?
Oh wait, say it again.
This is some kind of fiendish possession thing?
No, this isn't a fiendish possession thing, but you've heard of a specific type of fiend called the Deathen. They were they precursed the lycanthropy curse. They were pulled here by a god. Just in one of the actually. I'm going to, I have the name of the war right here next to me. It was the Deathen Swarm, and it actually resulted in the first time the Earthfire was ever destroyed. These things hunted people, specifically tracking them by who had souls and who didn't. It's what Skari described to you, oh wait, that's not a werewolf, that's something else.
Okay, so was that actually Terror Cry, or was that something else?
It was Terror Cry.
Okay.
Terror Cry is not just the lycanthrope template.
Does that align with how I saw him that I snuck up there?
If anything, Soulmane saw him coming down from that.
But he was still larger than normal.
Yes.
Well, when I saw him that night, I didn't see any smoke or any of that, but he was definitely gigantic comparatively. Elena said he was... Elena did say that he was meant to be some kind of anti-god or anti-answer to some kind of situation all that way.
Hilarious is going to say and she is going to flip through her notes because she hasn't scribed it yet, and she says, I believe she said he eats the souls of the divine.
Yeah, looks like he could probably Deathen Swarm track people like people. It tracks anything by its soul. And I remember the story. So he's a damn man.
Ooh, hold on. I'm getting some feedback from Wiz every time you talk. Wiz, I'm going to mute you for 20 seconds and I'll unmute you. Can you say that again? I didn't hear for Ogun.
Sounds like he's a Deathen Swarm. They hunted beings by their souls. So he's a damn mess. Well, Moonbeam was knocked out of the lycanthrope part. I don't know about the other part.
Well, I guess it was a good thing that he didn't find me then.
Yep. Yeah, you think Anthony's in bad shape.
Well, at that time, they didn't... they probably... I don't know if they'd attack me or not. After hearing what Aldwin said about her, she might not
probably
know.
Eat your soul just for fun.
Yeah, probably he was kind of an asshole.
Well, considering...
And we were nice enough to free him from pit cage.
You freed that piece of shit?
Didn't know the pure wrath and danger he possessed at the time. It was just the first job me and the rest of the old group performed with her back at that town.
You people make very bad decisions.
Hilarious is going to try and scribe in her book again and say, yes, I believe she said he enters a blood rage when he brings that on. Not very good for being in cities.
Not good for being on this realm. I think that's a thing that I want dead.
Just add it to the list of other things she has to kill. Though it's always struck me as strange that a creature like that, and she refers to him not as a servant like she does her pets in the crystals, but as a partner.
Something like that would be bold enough and powerful enough that calling it a subordinate would be a disservice or unwise or both.
Well, here's the thing that she always likes to mention to us. She's not the head of this. By the way she talks to him and about him, they're on equal terms as far as whoever they serve.
That would not surprise me very much. So, the good news is, y'all are on a hook to help kill Elena. Going after her boss, not actually your job. Be happy to have you sit on.
Well, if we survive that long, we'll see how it goes. By the way, Skari, I've been meaning to ask, but then everything kind of went to shit.
Skari looks up at you. She's wiping a little bit of sweat off of her brow as she literally just experienced death in front of you.
You're alchemically advanced and make potions and things for Kieran and your group all the time, yes?
She nods and says, yeah. I learned a lot. The last leader of the Blue Band made sure of that. And she points a finger to her chest and says, my father was the best apothecary in Kalu.
More on that point later. Can you, if we were able, in Ogun, this is going to be kind of in your realm since you can shape form. Could you make potions to help us climb if we ever find ourselves in a situation like that again?
She's going to shake her head and say, it takes me time to brew potions, sometimes hours, sometimes days. I know a potion of climbing, but it's not something I can just create on the fly.
Well, we're in for a long journey, so if it's something you can work on in the intermediate time, that would be helpful.
Hey, Brandon.
Yes.
What kind of kit does it take to do that?
I believe in alchemy kit. You guys are Group A. Oh, okay. I'm in my folder. I'm like, why is there no stuff here that's relevant to your guys' campaign? All right, Skari's sack. I'm bringing this up on the thing. She has alchemist supplies.
Okay.
Yeah.
What I was getting at was herbalism, or could herbalism do that? I'm guessing no, but I wanted to ask.
Yeah, I mean, you can help supply the things she needs. For a potion of climbing, I believe there's a spell called Spider Climb.
That's basically what I was hinting at, and I would figure probably webbing would be a component of it.
Yeah.
The giant spider for that Hogan can turn into.
Yeah, she'll say, I don't know the spell I need to imbue the potion with, but I could make the base potion if we found a wizard or a druid capable of imbuing it. From there, we could work together. Spider Climb, 2nd level transmutation.
Okay, it's not on the druid list, so I can't help with that. At least not with the casting part.
Let's do it.
I'm surprised. Oh, hey, she does not have a. She does not have the strange book anymore. Oh, make sure to add to Teek's inventory. Small chest, strange book.
Small chest, strange book.
Yes. Or no, I'm sorry. Willow add small chest, strange book. Teek's inventory, chest key. The book kept reappearing in the night. Willow went and scavenged in the town for a chest and locked it away and gave Teek the key to it.
I pour the rest of my holy water on the book.
Alrighty. Yeah.
Does anything happen to it?
You are going to see like visible etchings and like runes in it that are on the cover. The inside's ink, but the cover seems to be made of a different material. You see those definitely fade. At the end of an hour, they come back. Teek can roll a I will allow you a profession check of your choice of either religion or arcana.
Good.
Teek can't figure this out in her dealings with the chantry. She's seen something similar, perhaps some sort of warlock magic, but or some sort of pack magic, but that's about the most she can gather from it.
By the gods, he's a warlock.
I figured Eldritch Blast would have gave that away.
Well, sure. But, the Feat Magic Initiate does that too.
Yeah, also, too, Eldritch Blast was manifesting itself as just, giant explosions of this dark energy coming from him.
I'll believe it. It kind of felt like an Eldritch Blast.
Yeah, but what was the conversation going on inside the carriage? I just ADHD'd onto something.
They were saying about making potions of spider climb.
She told you she can brew the base potion, but she cannot imbue it. She does not have spider climb in her spell list. Or I think it is actually an Artificer spell, but she does not know it.
Well, do what you can and we'll go from there. Other than that, Brandon, I don't know how many days it's going to be till the next town, but during them...
It's only 1 day. You guys get into... just from where you're at, you travel out of the base and you travel the roads and you make it to Amberside. You don't exhaust yourself because you're not traveling with haste like you guys did leaving Amberside. But this is the first town you guys come upon. And did I have a page for Amberside? I did not, but I think we were using the Flame Gate as the one we were on for here. Yeah, Amberside is, of course, the safe mountainside village. You guys pull into here at nightfall. You are going to... Well, the town itself it's a quiet, pleasant, beautiful mountainside village. Pulling into the inn, stabling your guys' horses and getting a room for the night. The party can stay here for Actually, you guys can stay here for free, as they would recognize Willow. However, it is a different innkeeper here than was here before. If you guys want to do anything in this town, you can let me know. Otherwise, I'll just tell you what happens in the night and keep going.
I want to shop. What sort of armor shops are around? Are they fairly rich, or are they kind of like Bumpkin Town?
So, Amberside is a nicer town, as high-end merchants live here, but the only shopping that they do is, trading on caravans. There's not going to be any armor smith here or weaponsmith. All in all, this town's made up of about 8 or 9 buildings.
Alright, that's not helpful, but okay.
Okay, as far as, what are you looking for? Because,
armor and weapons.
Yeah. They would not be trading that here, as, all of those caravans would be going from the Flame Gate to Northwind. Looking around for, people, though, Fractus is going to, pick up that, a lot of, when you guys were first through here, this town was probably about 40 strong. Coming back, a lot of people have gone missing in the past few days. It's probably sitting at asking for hey, is this for? Oh yeah, this guy would have sold. Oh, actually he's gone, and that happens. Maybe several times, or maybe 6 times before Frax just gives up.
Well, yeah, this is the werewolf town.
No, the lycanthropy solved.
Yeah, it was the werewolf town.
Yeah. If you guys, otherwise, spending the night here in Amberside, same thing. While the town itself seems fine, late in the night, you guys are going to hear howls in the distance. Definitely the sound of something. Definitely of the sound of something far more bestial than human, or just a normal wolf. Yeah, but the next morning passes, and
All right, wait a second. What the hell was that?
Wait, say it again.
What the heck was that?
Yeah, doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out, it is, definitely, some, monstrous humanoid, or monstrous, beast.
Yeah, I was hoping for a better identification than that.
Oh yeah, lycanthropes.
Okay. Well, damn it, I thought the lycanthrope problem around here was fixed.
I apologize. I was on the commission to take care of the one.
Brandon, just so you know, before I went to sleep, I was going to check the mirror again to see if I could get any more details about her, where she is.
What do you ask it?
Basically, it's the same kind of question. Show me Elena through the day.
Through the day. Alright, so it can only convey 5 minutes of it can only convey 5 minutes of stuff. It shows her just probably the richest place Soulmane has ever seen. She is drinking some exotic fruit beverage, and she is hundreds of feet in the air, sitting on a balcony overlooking overlooking kind of like a night sky, as the sun is dawning on the other side of the sky. Or no,
So
actually,
it's-
you're going to see a sunset because the mirror shows it randomly. You're going to see a sunset, and she is sitting at this table in an open balcony. This entire tower she's on is made of stone. The sea is, an expanseless sea is to the south of her. And just, throughout the day, you're going to see her just randomly inside buildings, talking to people, passing gold, making money, looking at her spell lists, occasionally acquiring a creature or two, and then, the mirror stops.
Do any of the places look familiar at all through my travels?
No. I mean, I'll allow you a insight check DC 18, but,
What's the check?
Insight, Insight 18. Of just, racking your brain. A Lil Najian? A Lil Najian port city, that's about it.
Did you show Ogun that one?
Well, I was by myself, but I will convey it afterwards. Because that'll help narrow things down.
Well, he will admonish you. You need to start showing me these things. I am very well studied. You do not understand this clearly.
Talking to Ogun about it. Ogun is a Lil Najian. Soulmane, Ogun could run through places of just, Sky's Reach, and Soulmane's like, no, I've traveled through Sky's Reach. I, know that one if I saw it. I have a cities folder, and I need to find out where I'd put my, cities art. Places, there we go. The, other place that, comes to mind... I'm sorry. It could be any. It could be any of the southern huge Lil Najian port cities. Among those are Nazendale, Marbleport, and Dockensdale.
Okay, so it sounds like we're heading in approximately the right direction.
Do we know... Ogun, do you know of any of those cities who might have a temple to the Forgotten Wills?
Spoken Wills?
Spoken Wills?
Good question. Do I need to roll again, or is that good?
No, you're gonna know the entirety of Alil Nagai. The entirety of Alil Nagai worships the Given Wills. It is a religious nation, and they kill people who practice other religions inside their country.
In that case, he says, "Oh, I sure do. All of them." Kind of mandatory. I did my best to ignore it.
The one that I saw in the first vision was definitely a closed down, so that still might help things down a little bit.
Yeah, by the way, just to clarify that last statement, they're kind of close. The Spoken Wills is the religion that you guys saw the temple in. The Given Wills is a different religion. They both come from the same place, but basically, the people of the Given Wills abandoned the Spoken Wills and took on a new sect of the religion. Alil Nagai worships the Given Wills, which is, not the Spoken Wills.
I know it's been approximately 3 days since I've charged something from horseback, so I'm getting shivers.
Yeah, do you guys just leave Amberside to its flight?
rather not really. I talked to Corey about it though. So, it's my birthday, and they have a lycanthrope problem. I think lycanthrope trophy sounds like a good one. On the other hand, we have places to go and a certain evil caster to kill. And very weird lycanthrope. So, what do you all say about a little side trip? Hunt down the lycanthropes. I know
This sounds like Brandon is trying
to take us a lot longer to get there, and well, there's other fires at risk.
Hey, I'm not trying to get you guys to do anything. I'm not railroading you guys. You can go.
This sounds like Brandon is trying to trick us into a beach episode.
You can go do anything you want. You guys can just leave Elena alone if you wanted to, and
nope, gonna kill her.
Soulmane kind of grabbing his shoulder and rotating his head around. I've been kind of pent up and...
I can't help you with that.
But yeah, Teak was just about to say, let's not talk about that.
You know, for a paladin, you're pretty dark or dirty-minded.
As far as Willow knows, though, and I don't know if I sent this to you, the lycanthrope he hunted down was a person by the name of Zally. She was not only a lycanthrope, but a spellcaster of sorts. It was a vicious fight that he took her down in. She was outside of the town, hunkered down in a cave. There was a bounty on her head, that the mayor gave to you. Just, in case you guys do decide to lycanthrope hunt, that's what Willow already knows about the area. Oh, is Vectin Spectre still here? I will, No, she is not.
Oh.
What say you, or do you want to hunt some mangy mutts?
And where are you guys having this conversation? Like, I'm assuming, like, in the inn at breakfast?
Yeah.
Yeah, the more and longer this conversation goes on, the mayor, or rather Miss Orides, who functions as the mayor, is going to approach your guys' table and say, "Oh, the lycanthrope problem's been solved. Willow here, Valiant Hunter, took care of it for us."
I'm afraid that's incorrect. I put down a single lycanthrope. There are multiples.
Let's see, I heard lycanthropes. There's more people missing from this town. Grabs her. Maybe you're a lycanthrope.
They use divine sense.
Divine sense on a lycanthrope? Isn't it just a humanoid?
Sure, but you said the ones like Terror Cry are not just lycanthropes, they're all...
Yes. She does not register as a fiend or anything to you. When you grab her and accuse her of being a lycanthrope, she's going to be preposterous. My only thought is to keep this town safe.
I'm going to do an insight check.
You can roll it.
That's going to be a 17 because I can't roll for shit, apparently.
Yeah, so, she puts out the bounties in the town, and she hired Willow, to go hunt and kill this lycanthrope. From what
to be fair, good cover would be to throw suspicion of yourself.
Yeah. Oh no, Willow definitely killed a lycanthrope. Like, he definitely killed a werewolf. Person transformed and everything. But from what you can tell, she's telling the truth. And as you say that, she says, "Well, if there are more out there, I'll get keepers when they return to the north and put out a hunt for another.
You know those people that are missing?
Say it one more time.
You know those people that are missing from the fine hamlet here?
She nods and says, well, war's breaking out. I don't blame people who run from the town to the safety of Northwind.
It's a distinct possibility they didn't flee, they were taken.
There are these people to you, or are they saying, I'm leaving, I'm going to Northwind, screw this stupid little town? And then leaving with their stuff, or is their stuff still here?
Peasley is going to say, well, most of the inn resides at the most of the town that is not of the upper class resides at Doka's bunkhouse. When they leave, all of their stuff is gone with them.
So you're saying their belongings are missing as well?
She nods and says, the life in Amberside isn't for everyone. We're kind of far out here. If somebody leaves in the night, I don't question it. It's not like people are being snatched. We have guards here.
There's no way for you to know that.
Leaving at night.
She gestures to the mountain and say, Amberside's on the is on the pleasant side. Shields most of the roads to Northwind. You could travel at any time here.
The point I was alluding to is that whether they were snatched from the town or snatched on the road, it makes no difference. Werewolves can cover a lot of ground in a short amount of time. And if there's one werewolf, there's just as likely to be multiple werewolves, giving as seeing as how it spreads, very much like a disease.
She nods and says, I'll speak to Doka, and as soon as I have more information, I'll put out another bounty. She bows to the party and says, as always, and says, I'm thankful for your service, Willow. And I hope you enjoy your stay in Amberside. She walks
an insight check because that's very suspicious sounding.
Okay. She walks out of the room. So she told you specifically the people that have been disappearing have been, from a certain person. And she's headed to talk to that person. She might have insight to, like what's going on and be hiding it from you. But regardless, she does seem to be on it.
Okay, so she seems at least reasonably honest about the whole thing?
What about putting out another bounty?
About, like, she actually doesn't know what's going on and,
Oh, no. She definitely has some insight that, you guys don't.
Okay. Give me a sec. I'm gonna pick a form here that will let me follow her in relative secrecy. Something stealthy. Because giant spiders don't qualify. It's the only one I wrote down because I was writing down combat forms. Silly me.
I asked Teak, are we doing this?
We cannot pass by a town in need.
Okay, Hogan turns into a cat.
All right.
And
Roll
goes
me a
after her.
stealth check.
Okay. Give me a sec to see if I can. Yes. That looks like it should be.
Would you care for me to lead you back to the location?
That is a craptacular roll. Alright.
Woo! All right.
That's obvious the cat.
So, gosh, this is weird. Because you guys are, like, she walks out of the inn, you know, bundling herself up at the door and then getting ready to step out into, you know, like, the cold morning. And Ogun just says, you know, like, 1 sec, shapeshifts into a cat and is like, "Meow!" You know, it's like...
And I step on his tail.
Yeah, and Ogun goes running after her. You know, has to have somebody open the door for him. Not very stealthy at all, but immediately Ogun's going to notice, like, when he gets outside, she, like, pleasant pace inside, and as soon as she's outside, like, expedient pace, and she is booking it to the bunkhouse. She does not notice you because she rolled with disadvantage and got a 19 and a 1. And your 1 is better than her 1.
Lucky me.
And,
right.
So it's like you guys, everybody in the party, like, knows, oh no, he's noticeable, but Ogun's just, you know, like kitty cat sprinting through the snowy morning after her, and, like, just looking at the open door, he'll be fine. Ogun, by the way, is going to follow her to the bunkhouse. Your stealth roll lasts until challenged. She's going to
Can
get...
I, like, reset it somehow or something like that?
Well, that's what I was about to say. She's going to get to the bunkhouse, you know, coming inside and unbundling herself, and you know, try and sleek into the this bunkhouse after her, and the person in the parlor is going to notice you and say, "No strays," like, trying to scurry you outside the door and close the door on you. You can roll you can try and get into the house from a different angle or roll a different thing, but you have been noticed by the other person, and Peasley herself did notice you there, but did not know you were a cat.
Okay. Just as I was approaching, what kind of other possible entry points does it look like I might have available to me? Like, are there, you know, windows that I might be able to jump through or something like that? Or is it like, no, this place is buttoned up tight, it's freaking cold out there?
Yeah, so, once again, this is on the pleasant side, so they can afford things like glass without, you know, having to worry about storms or blizzards bashing hail against it. All of the glass windows, of course, would have shutters on them. In a humanoid form, you know, you could kind of sleek into one of the second-story floors. There is a hearth place here. There is, of course, a back entrance, and I'm gonna roll a percentage die. Just like looking around this place and trying to get in, waiting a couple minutes. There are going to be about 5 people walking outside the front door, opening it again.
Okay.
You can try and dash in the front door if you want, or you can try and find another way in.
I'm gonna try to dash.
Okay, are you doing so stealthily, or
no, because I've got... Well, no, wait a second. So, if a critter has a stealth skill, then it's proficient, and I get to use proficiencies, right?
Yes.
Okay. And I calculated all that already, and I will just go for the stealth.
Alright.
Like, turn around like I'm slinking out, and then when they turn away to just let the door close, I scurry in.
Running back in, you can see, like, you only got a brief moment inside the bunkhouse when you were first here. And before she pushed you out, it's kind of set up like a more like long-purposed inn, with instead of like a dining room where you can be served, like a little mead hall instead, right there at the front. And then that area was occupied with people. That is no longer occupied. You see the footsteps of people in the back of this bunkhouse climbing to the second story. You can also hear voices. Following behind them, and Peasley's check is going to stand at... Well, no, I guess since, she saw the cat, she'd be a little bit more alert. She'll re-roll her check. The other lady's check's going to stand. And so far, you don't think you've been noticed. Climbing the stairs, Peasley is going to be talking to this lady and say, and you're going to hear her say, "You need to be more selective with your targets. People are starting to ask questions." The woman's going to say, don't discuss that out here. And she's going to say, "The adventurers are back. Our adventurers are back. And if one set comes here, that's only going to draw more." She's Ogun follows them and sees them turn the corner into an office, and the door is shut. He can still hear them talking from the other side of the office. And on the other side of the door, Doka's going to say to her, "What do they know?" Peasley is going to say that there's still lycanthropes in the town. And she's going to say, "Well, we just sacrificed another of our numbers." Peasley's going to say, "But who?" And the woman's going to say, "Koi has served her purpose enough." Peasley hisses and says, "She's the reason they're back here." Doka nods and says, "Well, she's now wanted for suspicions concerning people disappearing." She's you're gonna hear an exhale and say, "She's not gonna be happy about this." Peasley, or Doka's gonna say, "Just make sure the money's enough that the adventurer, or whoever, the hunter who goes after her, shoots first and asks questions later." She nods and says, or well, actually, she doesn't nod. She opens the door, stepping out. From what Ogun can tell, he still does not feel like he's been noticed. She begins walking towards these stairs. If Ogun stays here, he will be noticed regardless.
Okay, yeah, he'll skedaddle pretty quickly. But yeah, just work on getting out. Go down to the first area, get under the table, wait for somebody to start to leave, and then be on their heels out the door.
So sneaking, you're going to be moving slower than her, and she's going to catch up to you before you get a point to do that. But you can just dash, straight out of this place into the bottom floor.
Does are there rafters or anything else? Is this log construction? What's going on?
Yeah, it is log construction. It is a this is kind of so this whole town is for very well-off merchants. This place is where the not those people live. For the inhabitants,
like a rafter I can scurry up and perch on, so that I'm above her line of sight and she won't see me.
Okay, and what? Cats have 15 feet of climb speed?
30.
30 feet of climb speed. Okay, yeah.
And his normal speed's 40, climb is 30.
Yeah, you're going to witness her, complete, like, running out into this bottom area, finding some place, like, above the herb, to, like, scurry into in a corner. You're gonna see her, bundling up at the, door, and coming, back into the, room. Duica is going to be stepping down here too, and say, and Peasley, let's be more mindful of who we invite into our town. That scholar of yours asked far too many questions.
Oh, one more thing while they're moseying about and all this kind of stuff. Cats also have keen smell, so I'll get sense on them.
Okay.
If you want me to roll for that, I do have.
No. You're fine. You see, because I just remembered they have keen senses too. You see, the Doka kind of sniffing around. She looks around in the area, and you're gonna see her take a broom and start sweeping the area of the center lobby, and just say, I hate cats. Peasley leaves. And we'll end with Peasley coming back to the party. And Peasley going to the town hall, giving a message and posting a bounty on the board for 4,000 gold. And hot damn, the blue band is all over that.
Real quick, before we cut out, just at the bar, somebody wants to trade in 5 gold for silver pieces.
Okay. Waiting around long enough, Ogun probably returns in a half hour of just waiting for an opportunity to leave?
Yeah, just wait for somebody to actually head out the door and then he'll book it.
Yeah, but there is a location and everything attached to this bounty. I'll say let's go to 11 if you guys want to discuss what Ogun just learned. And then we'll leave off there for the night, or we can just pick up there.
We'll go ahead. I'm good for discussing.
Okay. We will end there for the night. You guys have a werewolf to kill.
So,
Yay.
Ogun comes back, relays the whole thing. Oh yeah, they decided to throw, I forget what the name is, but throw one of their own.
Kuyu. She's the lady who sold you guys your carriage.
Alright. Decided to throw her to us. I'd say to the wolves, but it's the other way around. It doesn't make any sense at all. But there should be a fair bit of money involved. However, I think both of them are probably werewolves. And there's more where that came from. So we're gonna clean house.
The culling of Amberside.
Stand there hitting with a broom. I'll get her.
So your guys' hunts are, in town. So it shouldn't be too much of a detour of just hey, are you? No, I'm not. All right. And
stab. Yeah. You were.
They transform and they're no, I can explain.
Yeah, one more thing before we really, just before next session. What do I need to roll to figure out, how do you spot a werewolf? The easy, top 3 ways or whatever.
Stab it with silver and see if it dies.
Yeah, wave silver in front of people.
Okay. You have to touch them with it? Just wave it in front of them?
Well, I mean, any werewolf's naturally going to be, weary of silver. It would, not burn to the touch, but definitely, be vulnerable to the touch of sensitive. Like, no werewolf's gonna just, like, want to grab, like, a silver dagger or something like that. As far as, like, locating and discerning lycanthropes, I think that's one of the things that make them so deadly, is because unless you provoke them, or, you know, it's a full moon, it is not something that's just like, oh yeah, this person is, this person isn't.
Okay. Well, I know Moonbeam, I have Moonbeam, and I've got it already loaded up, but that just gives them disadvantage. It'll hurt everybody. That doesn't make this, well, it hurts everybody, actually.
Yeah.
But evasion.
But yeah, I'll have a complete list after I research it a little bit more for you at the start of next session.
Sounds good.
We're going to, oh god, so much experience for tonight. Anston, 500 for that storyline. It's not solved, but it's headway on it. I'm going to give you 500 for Elena's storyline, because you guys have an idea of where she is at. You are back in Amberside. 500 for the mayor is a werewolf, probably. And I feel like something else major happened tonight that I'm missing.
I rolled 2 crits in a row and then minimum damage on both.
Yeah, I'm also going to give you 250 experience for the conversations inside the carriage with Skari, because that, you know, that is something that information she had from the spell that, you know, I just didn't even think of. Just like, oh yeah, you guys can discern other things from her visions other than, you know, like, the property of items. And I think that is it.
Willow's gonna turn to Teak and he's like, another crusade.
Yeah, so,
Brandon,
yes.
So I know.
I'm about to add up everything right now. Go, but what's up?
Just quick question. I said I wanted to trade in 5 gold for some silver pieces. Was I able to do that, or is everyone... No, there's no silver here.
Yeah, you're able to do it. The innkeeper is not the person that the innkeeper was when you guys were last year. This is a different person running the inn, or the tavern.
Okay.
Yeah, so for tonight, 1,750 experience for everybody, and I'm going to give inspiration to Teak and Fractus tonight. Of just, you know, generally good roleplay, good stuff, you know, all your all the things your characters would do, and just, yeah, solid session.
Outstanding.
Your guys' next session is going to be on the 9th of July. And I'm going to end the broadcast there. Oh, we're going to go to the title card because we have a fancy title card now. Thank you for everybody who watched, and yeah, peace out.